I read a stat last week that there's like a quarter of the amount of people, there's rats in New York City. Like there's quarter, yeah.
Wait, what?
Wait, hold on. I don't understand.
You're saying there's 4 times as many rats in New York City?
There's 1/4 as many rats.
There's 1/4 of a rat.
There's one rat
for
every 4 people.
There's 1 rat for every...
Yeah, 1 rat. Isn't that?
That's a lot of rats.
It's a pretty
Okay,
big
so
number.
There's
1
no
rat
way.
per 4 people?
That's
So
way
there's a
too many.
25% chance you have a rat following you.
There's a 25% chance you are a rat.
Yo, what is up, people of the internet? Welcome back to another episode of the Waveform podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Marquez.
I'm Andrew.
And I'm David.
And this week there's music playing for some reason. I don't know why.
For some reason.
But it feels...
We're all back.
Back.
We're all back.
Oh,
Everyone's
that's why.
here.
We're here.
It's
True.
the normal crew.
Wow.
Spoiler, we didn't even say our names yet.
We did.
We did.
Audio didn't... Did we?
Yeah, we did.
We actually just
I'm
did.
rusty.
He said I'm Andrew.
We went around and said our names, and you were like, so we haven't said our names. So we're all back. We're all also rusty, but hey, it's another tech week. It's Tarch, Tay, Mech. It's Mech. Google I/O happened. We got a whole bunch of Gemini stuff. Sony tweeted they have these new headphones, but they also tweeted this April Fool's Day joke like 2 months late. It was about AI photo correction. We'll talk about that. A new camera might be a Fuji X100V competitor, maybe. And a story about the coolest things we've ever done as a company, because it's new and we've been keeping it a secret, but it's time you guys finally know about this thing that we've been doing. And I'm very excited to share it with you.
At the end, can't skip ahead. Full retention.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't know what this is, so I'm going to be excited.
I'm also. I was like, yeah, totally.
It's incredible.
Totally.
Yeah.
But first, did they even test this?
Yes.
I think David has some that are for next week.
Yeah.
That are going to be really fun.
Teaser.
I'm going to give you guys a choice.
Okay.
I was writing some things down on my paternity, so I have a few, but I have either a did they even test this or one that I was impressed by, so I wrote it as a hell yeah, they actually did test this. So people have been saying maybe some of these things are a little too downer. I'll open the floor that if you're ever really, really impressed by something, we'll put that in.
I like that.
Because they
like
did test
Yeah,
it.
I do like when things surprisingly work and you didn't expect them to.
Yes. This is one of the, it sounds like we want to go with the hell yeah, they tested
I think
this.
that would be fun.
Cool.
Sure. Let's be a
This
little
is
positive
something
today.
that's positive, worked really well. It's something that maybe surprised me because this feature hasn't worked for a long time. But I had a really good Magic Q experience in Google Messages.
Remind people what Magic Q is.
Magic Q is a feature in Google Messages where depending on what the person is sending you in a text message, you'll get, instead of like an auto reply of yes, no, whatever, like a suggestion of maybe they're asking about an event. So here's your calendar and you can post in the calendar event for it. It's supposed to help you answer things that Google should know within your Google
In one
landscape
click.
easier. Yes. So I had somebody, a mutual friend of Marquez and I, say, hey, do you have any photos of that camera crane arm you used to have on Marquez's Tesla? And I was like, wow, that was a long time ago. We don't have that anymore. I'm not even sure. I'm sure they're in here somewhere. And I got a little button that said Google Photos. I was like, oh, cool. I can one click. I'm still going to have to search for it.
Google Photos. Yeah.
Launch Google Photos. Right there, suggestions based on the text message. And there's 2 pictures of Marquez's car with the camera crane on it.
Wow.
And I just clicked both of them and said, thank goodness for Magic Q because these are actually them. And Mistos had no idea what I was talking about, but who cares? He got the pictures he needed.
That is
Wow.
what it's supposed to be amazing for.
Supposed to do.
It is now 1 for 3,000.
I found that I can search brand names in Google Photos and it can tell me like Tesla versus regular car, or you can search Mercedes and it will find Mercedes.
Here's something that's funny. It said on a Tesla, like in the suggestion said on a Tesla, but it was one of like 8 photos that it tested. The one before it was the trailer hitch camera
it'll
mount
always-
with a giant Ford logo on it.
It'll always have
very
false positives.
clearly is not.
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know how, but it always has false positives for some reason. But
Yeah.
yes, it did. It did find the Teslas, which is cool. Cool.
I think it found the crane arm. I think that was the discerning factor.
okay.
That was a little easier
Fair
to pick
enough.
up on and unique.
It's been getting the faces wrong for me recently.
Has
weirdly
it?
Enough. Yeah, I'll be like this person in Canada, and it'll be like 80% of them is that person, but then 20% of them will be a different person.
false positives. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just seems to cast the net wider than it's supposed to, which is
Yeah.
probably a good miss.
Yeah.
And then it'll just have some random stuff that's not what you asked for, but it will always have somewhere in there one of the things you asked for.
Right.
Which is cool.
Right. Okay. I tweeted that I'm going to have a generational crash out. So I think that's about to happen.
And what will you be crashing out about today, David?
If you're unaware, this week, 2 companies decided to do the worst thing possible to piss me off. That's right. Google and Sony decided to implement new AI image editing features that just proves that engineers have no idea what the a photo is supposed to look like.
I think they tagged you specifically when they posted.
I felt personally very attacked by this.
I want to.
Yeah.
Before you get into it, the blame, I'm not sure where to put it on just the grouping of engineers, because we've had photo engineers come to us and say, like, we watched your video on this and we've been trying to tell people on our team.
I'm blaming the
agree.
social media
So
team
there's
for this.
there is someone to blame, and I agree, and it doesn't take anything away from this. Some of the engineers know what they're talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Well, to be fair, I'm just going to talk about exactly what happened. Do you want to talk about Sony first or Google first?
Let's do the Sony one.
The Sony one? Okay. So Sony tweeted this photo from a new phone that, of course, they just basically didn't announce like usual, called the Xperia, what is it? Xperia 1
Mark 8.
Mark 8. That's probably way too expensive, and they'll announce it now, and it'll release in September, and then no one will buy it, and it'll be available only at B&H.
It's available for pre-order. Okay.
It's available for pre-order.
You can spend 1,400 pounds on it, and it ships in a month, in June.
In June. Now, that's actually way faster than
not
they've
bad.
ever done.
They're getting
It's
better.
pretty bad, but it's better than they've been in a long time.
Yes.
So there's what's happening.
So they tweet this tweet that says, the new AI camera assistant, asterisk for some reason, with Xperia Intelligence brings stories to life using subject, scene, and weather. It suggests expressive options with adjustments of color, exposure, bokeh, and lens, whatever that means, for breathtaking photos. What does it mean? Adjustments for lens? What does that even mean? Okay. There are 4 photos here. One of them is kind of acceptable, I suppose.
Brother.
It's like a flower, and they made it warmer, and it's like fine. The other 2 are... It's hard to explain how bad these are. One of them is almost definitely not directly from the camera because the shadows were already jacked and it was already underexposed. And I'm pretty sure that this was pre-edited. But the AI edited version is like sharpening to 12, whites to 12, saturation to -3. They boosted the red for no reason.
To explain the photo, it's a woman standing in a field full of like tall hay and a blue background, and like you said, it's a little underexposed.
And the horizon is at 30 degrees.
Yeah,
How is she standing straight, but the
that's
horizon's at 30
actually a
degrees?
really that might be the more confusing.
I don't understand.
Mountain maybe.
Is this a fake picture?
It's
I
one
don't
of the
know.
strangest social media posts I've ever seen.
Okay, but the worst one is a sandwich.
The sandwich.
Which already like looked like a phone photo. Like it has that compression, it has that over sharpening, whatever. At least it had contrast. The AI camera assistant one of the worst edits I've seen in my entire life. I have an Instagram post from before I knew what cameras were, where I applied like 3 Instagram filters to make it look kind of similar to this, where it's just like really washed out with like no color whatsoever. Like I used to think that that's what made a good picture too.
We all did.
We
I have
all
some
did.
of those too.
No,
It's like
not all of
ancient
us.
content. It's
You didn't do it?
My bio since the beginning of my Instagram account was I promise not to overdo the filters.
But did you?
Look at this.
Hashtag no filter was my end of the spectrum. Oh yeah, that was
It's bad, right?
but
It's so
yeah,
bad.
guilty.
This sandwich is like it's a croissant with I don't know.
Yeah, it's a
turkey,
croissant sandwich.
cheese, tomato, lettuce. Like
a
there's
close-up
lots
of a
good,
sandwich. Why
Lots
are
of
you-
good colors that could be. Yeah, it's a really close up of a sandwich.
Yeah.
But it is so brightened
washed
and
out.
washed out in the new one that the white text that says AI camera assistant is almost hard to read in the photo because the photo behind it is so bright and washed out that it gets lost.
Yeah. Okay, so if you look at smartphone camera upgrades since like the iPhone 7, specifically from US smartphone manufacturers, you're probably going to notice that there hasn't been a lot of change over the years. You know, the iPhone like 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, like we did these camera tests, right? Smartphone cameras over time, especially from US manufacturers, really what they've gotten better at is they've gotten better at low light because the sensors get bigger, they get better at the stabilization, the low light eventually gets better. However, the primary thing that these companies have been doing is making signs easier to read because they look at user data and they say, what do people usually use their smartphone for? And it's not to take artsy pictures, right? It's to take pictures of signs, to send information to each
A lot
other.
of utility photos.
A lot of utility. That's
Especially Zoom.
yeah, of course. It's probably like 80% of what people take photos of, right?
Depends on the age.
Depends on the age.
I think a lot of old people have a lot of utility photos.
That's very
Once you're not
true.
taking pictures of kids anymore, it's just like menus at restaurants,
Yeah.
signs to read them better.
I mean, I take photos of those things. You know?
Exactly.
Send them to friends, whatever. But people are buying digicams right now because all these smartphone manufacturers have just been jacking up the shadows, crushing the highlights, adding sharpening. You know, like be like, oh, people are buying digicams because they're old and they're like fashionable. It's like, no, the digicams that people are buying now are still good cameras. It's just that they don't apply a ton of computational photography to these photos, right? So I have a diagram for you guys that I'm going to pull up. It's not a diagram, but it's something I made this morning.
It's just a bunch of red yarn strewn across.
So
the
this is a normal picture. This is a picture I took in Colorado a couple weeks ago, right? It is a mountain landscape. There's some trees in there. There's some bright clouds. There's snow, which is quite bright. Then there's some, there's a lake, stuff like that.
Blue sky.
Blue sky. So there's kind of a lot going on. For people that don't know, there's a thing called a histogram, which has a thing in it called a tone curve. And effectively, it's a chart that moves from left to right and up and down. And on the left side, you've got your shadows. In the middle, you got your midtones. And on the right, you've got your highlights. And to have a well-balanced histogram, it's kind of important to have information in the to have a lot represented in the shadows, midtones, and highlights. What these smartphone camera companies are doing is they are jacking the out of the shadows. They are crushing the highlights. They are adding clarity. I would say a negative dehaze specifically on that sandwich photo.
Yeah.
And it looks like this. And this is kind of what that AI camera assistant photo looks like. And if you look at the histogram, they pull in all of the highlight information and the shadow information, and it all goes away and it all gets crushed into the center.
the middle. So it's one big.
All a midtone.
Hill.
Everything is a midtone.
Would you say these smartphone companies should atone for their tone curve?
Yeah. Yes. They need to atone for their sins. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm back, baby.
I just want to
Two
say,
kids now.
and we've made this analogy before, the difference between a circle and a sphere is shadow, is like curvature, which you can only add through like a transition from highlight to shadow, right? Caravaggio, Da Vinci, they died for this, okay? They invented this. Paintings in Italy in the Middle Ages were all flat as and then they were like, what if we added transitions between color and tone? And then things felt realistic and three-dimensional. And people are like, wow, we can have realistic stuff. And all these smartphone companies are just like, nah, bro, we're going back to before the Middle Ages.
Yeah.
And I don't know. There's something like the Chinese manufacturers are actually making good cameras. But for some reason, the U.S. manufacturers, they're just like, no, we're going to keep doing the same computational photography that we did when our sensors were like a micron big.
I don't think it's just the U.S. manufacturers. I was going to say I talked about this in the big Android update video because of that before and after that they did.
Right, which we'll get to in a sec.
And I talked about processing.
Yeah.
And I did this thing where I had every single version of a camera of every single iPhone, every single Samsung Galaxy S, every single Google phone.
Yeah.
And I thought Samsung's phones were pretty strong. Like the HDR happening in the S26s versus like the S22s and S23s, it looks worse.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to do this thing where they save bad photos.
Yeah.
Which feels like a win, but it also over-processes good photos, which
Yeah.
is definitely not a win.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Sony, Samsung, Google, Apple. A lot of them are guilty of this in a lot of ways.
I mean, iPhone 7 and before, the photos look great because they actually had contrast.
In some ways, and they've gotten better, obviously too. You have more resolution, you have more depth of field, you have all
Better
sorts
low
of
light.
things that have gotten more impressive at capturing and getting good photos out of like bad situations. But yeah,
They just need to change how they process the information now that they have way bigger sensors.
Yeah.
They haven't done that. Like they're using the same algorithms that they were using on the Pixel 1. You know
you know a subreddit that's aged really well?
what?
r/HDR. I subscribed to that subreddit a long time ago because it was hilarious because HDR was like this funny novel thing
Yeah.
that used to be able to overdo, and you'd get pictures on like Facebook like this.
Yeah.
Just like
Oh my god.
hilariously
I know
overdone
what
HDR.
Yeah.
What is it?
But you get this effect. This is just one
On
of
some
many
smartphones.
extremely overprocessed photos. Like
Right.
when you drag highlights all the way down, shadows all the way up, clarity all the way up, sharpness all the way up, that's what you get.
Yeah.
And that kind of feels like what's still happening.
There was an
day.
era in fine art photography, like right after Photoshop got invented, where people invented bracketing, which is where you take on a tripod, you take like an underexposed photo, a perfectly exposed photo, and an overexposed photo, and you use the information from all of those 3 photos, or up to like 9, to basically make like a hyper HDR image. And there was a trend like in fine art photography specifically, because it was hard to do, right? What people consider a good quality is basically things that are difficult. So at the time, you had to have the knowledge to do this. And so if you go into any like coffee shop in like a fancy town, there's a giant photo on the wall of like a mountain landscape or a river that just looks horrible.
Yeah.
I think
And it's always printed on metal. So it's like glossy and weird. I hate that.
if you go to
Oh my God, I'm so glad you said that.
any like gallery in a town outside a national park.
Yeah,
It's like it's just like a bunch of animal photos that were taken with great cameras and like it's almost like I need to make this as cool and like impressive as possible because I took this amazing picture of a moose, but it's just like
And they sell them for like $5,000.
Yeah.
It'll be like a sunset where the sky is like so orange. It's like you melted 10,000 basketballs into it.
Yeah.
And like a wolf that's like silhouetted, but because it's bracketed, there's still tons of. Sorry, this is like my pet peeve.
For sure.
No, exactly.
Was that near Estes Park? There's probably 40 galleries in Estes Park that have like these exact pictures I'm talking about. I specifically remember one next to a coffee shop.
Yeah. I think there is something to what you said where like people think that it's good if it looks difficult. And if there's like back in the day when photos were 8 megapixels, if you get a really sharp photo, that would look like a really good camera.
Yeah.
So if you could sharpen, dehaze, and like create a really structured, sharp photo, it looked, quote, better, even though it didn't really look that good.
Just because you didn't know how to do it.
Yeah. So that sort of stuff started leaking into like this generic photography. That sort of bracketing is the same thing. It's like, okay, if I want to take a picture with like the blue sky in instead of blown out, it would be really difficult unless I had a camera with great dynamic range, or I could learn bracketing and get like 2 or 3 photos and combine them.
Yeah.
So now every time I take a photo, I'm like, I should do bracketing just to make sure it looks better.
Yeah, right.
And it's not necessarily better, but then that starts creeping into regular photos too.
Totally. And this has even happened in film photography. Like film photography is kind of trendy right now, whatever. There's this like saying that people will be like, oh, just always overexposed by a stop so that you always have information in the shadows. And it's like, no, because then you're just going to get an image that has too much information in the shadows. And like, I guess you can scale it back because the highlights are more protected, but it's better to actually expose for the photo you want, not just show all the information all of the time.
Yeah.
So
to get back to the Sony thing,
sorry.
Well, 2 things on the Sony thing.
Yeah.
One, that tweet with all the horrible edits from the AI thing blew up. It has 13.5 million views on Twitter.
Their marketing department is like, I'm so confused because the best time to delete this was yesterday, but also this is the most traction we've ever got.
It's a lot of views. Yeah. So on that subject, the second thing is they posted a follow-up tweet that said,
they did?
hey,
they did.
Following the post about the AI camera assistant, we'd like to explain the feature in more detail. It doesn't edit photos after shooting. It suggests 4 settings in different creative directions based on the scene and subject. You can choose any option and use your own settings. And so they show a couple more examples of 1 original photo and then 4 suggested AI examples.
Yeah.
Which almost makes it more baffling that they decided to show such a horrible example of a creative direction on all of those photos. They look dramatically worse.
Yeah.
The fact that they thought that was creative direction, I guess, is a choice.
To be fair, 2 of these suggestions out of the 4 are horrible too.
But they're nowhere near as bad as
the
how
ones they
bad
showed.
the other ones were. So like even in this has 4 suggestions and none of them are as bad.
Yeah.
Whereas the other one that went through approval that those
Dude, so many things about this. Like even just the base photo looks like it's like 1 megapixel. Like it's so over sharpened and soft and
Yeah.
Do you think they'd sue us if we sold a T-shirt with that
would be
sandwich photo? Because I would
incredible.
wear the shit.
I also love that you can barely read the text that
I
says
know.
AI camera assistant and original on it. Yeah.
So anyway, the social media post was baffling. Whoever decided to choose those as the examples for the post ended up winning because they got 13 million views on their social media post, but also like now everyone's dunking on this Sony phone again, which might be the most attention any Sony Xperia 1 has gotten in a decade.
Yeah.
But
that's true.
Maybe not for the right
I
reasons.
mean, I probably wouldn't even have heard that they had released this. I didn't even know they released the last one.
That's actually true.
Well,
I didn't know that this phone was coming out.
Do you know
until
how
this
I
post.
knew it was coming out? Like 2 days before this, someone on our subreddit was like, why does big tech reviewers never do Sony phones? This one's coming out and it's clearly going to be the best camera. It would automatically win the smartphone award. And then this came out and a bunch of people in the comments were like, is this the camera you were talking about?
Maybe not, my friend.
Hey, the smartphone award.
Okay, and another thing happened with the camera editing this week. So I missed the Android Show episode, and I watched the Android Show while I was in Europe. And it was mostly good. You know, I actually liked a lot of it. I thought Google did a good job kind of humanizing their upper management people.
Oh, I hard disagree.
I thought it was pretty
It was
good.
really
them
cringy,
all.
which was very
Yeah.
human.
It was cringy, for
Really
sure.
cringy.
It was cringy.
Yeah.
Every time it made me facepalm. Like that was the vibe.
The like half cut of like, am I supposed to say something funny here? Teehee? Like, oh boy.
I didn't watch it, but that sounds brutal.
Like,
I think just the way of
Like
describing
before
it,
they talk, they're like,
they'd have like an unscripted moment,
Right.
Which was
which was
obviously
probably scripted. Yeah.
Yeah, it was tough to
That sounds
watch.
I think if you have to describe it as humanizing upper level management, red flag.
that's true.
It's hard for all these companies. They have like business leaders and like ruthless engineers like trying to also be the person who presents the thing on camera.
I mean, IO was rough. Minus Woodward, he was great, but
It's
everyone
weird.
else-
Yeah, Josh
Almost every company does a terrible job at it. I think Apple's the gold standard that they're all trying to match because they have
Robot
these
energy.
incredibly, robot energy, but they at least have like,
Just, like, good
well-produced conversational types of presentations.
But they also don't pretend like they're actually having a real conversation. They're not like, hey, Jason, would you mind if you sent me that screenshot of this? Sure, Cheryl. Like, they don't do that kind of thing. They're
Honestly, since COVID, it was like when we had real live tech
They're like,
demos
no, bears
and like
in your house.
live presentations. That was like an era. And then after COVID, we got these like produced things. That's this new era that we're in. And they're trying to make this produced era of presentations feel kind of real again by having unscripted moments or like long one takes or Carl Pei just like not blinking for 5 minutes or whatever they got to do to make it feel like a person.
Yeah.
That
well, and
happens.
also because the general sentiment around technology is at an all-time low right now.
Also true.
Like for regular people hate technology right now.
Yeah, and they're trying to put the person there so you feel like you're talking to a person instead of getting a tech demo.
Have you seen all
Especially
the?
at I/O, which is a giant AI show.
Yeah.
Just to go on everyone, the resentment is like, have you seen all these commencement speeches?
Getting booed.
Yeah, getting booed like at all the
Eric Schmidt-
speeches.
Schmidt got booed like crazy. Yeah.
There's been like multiples of them in the
Yeah.
last week. So
Yeah.
If
People
you're
don't
going to
love
speak to a bunch of students who are graduating, like matriculating into the next part of their life, and you're going to talk about agentic force, it's like, what's wrong with you?
That's insane to choose to talk about.
Yeah, it's a little
that derailed
the point.
But so at
Anyway,
the Android
sorry.
show.
Okay, so at the
Because
Android
I think
show.
I missed this photo you're about to talk about.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I haven't
Okay.
seen it, so I'm excited.
You haven't seen it?
No,
Before and after?
I have not.
I
seen
tweeted it. I tweeted it. I'll show you.
man.
Okay, so most of the features they released at the Android show were actually pretty cool. Like they have the widgets that you can just generate in an instant and kind of create whatever you want. But one of them was basically the same thing as this Sony thing, except it was like now you can take any social media like photo or video and instantly make it look better with like this new Google feature, which I thought we've had auto mode for like a really, really long time. So I'm surprised that they considered this like new and better. But they took a photo that looked pretty decently well exposed. Like maybe it was slightly underexposed a little bit. And then they did the exact same thing that Sony did, where they just like made it way brighter, softened it, and that was kind of it. Like they dragged the exposure slider up a little bit, but they also jacked up the shadows and pulled down the highlights. And it's like,
It would be a prime r/HDR candidate.
yeah. And she's like, it's so awesome because you can take a photo that looked like this, and it's like a normal looking picture. Like that would be a fine photo in my opinion. To this, and like the resulting photo is just so bad looking.
Yeah. Now the thing is, we know that people prefer brighter photos, especially in this before and after context, where if you just had that original photo, we'd go, oh yeah, it looks fine. But for some reason, regular people look at the before and then look at the after and go, oh, the after is better. It's brighter. I can see more things. Therefore, it's a better photo. And we haven't been able to escape this. So these companies just keep seeing that response that people have and just keep doing what people keep rewarding, which is making the photo brighter, seeing more in the shadows, seeing more in the highlights. And that's the result.
I have
It
a
just gets
theory
crazy.
that people who are not creative people who are not artists, they don't have taste, but they like things that are bad because their taste is associated.
I was going a different way.
What do you think?
I thought you were going to say they have no taste, so they just try to execute the technically better thing, even though it's not taste.
No.
I just like David telling them their taste sucks.
But you said
They don't have
they
taste,
like things that are bad.
but they like things that are bad.
Well, you know how over time when you get better at something, things that you used to like look at and aspire for, you're like eventually like, actually that wasn't that good, and like your taste kind of moves upwards.
Yes.
And you move around. You're like, oh, now I'm interested in this. Like I'm looking up at this, and it changes. I think when if you're not in that specific hobby or that specific art form or that niche, you don't really know what makes something look good. You're gonna gravitate towards the things that you think look good at that time, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Should we just cut this whole section?
No,
No,
it's
it's
interesting.
totally
I think
not subjective, and
yeah, I think that when I
I don't
picture
know if I'm just
someone,
being an asshole right now.
no, I think it's a fascinating conversation. When I picture someone with no taste, I picture them not having any direction at all to what they tend to pick. But I think what happens is regular people just see brighter as better. The same way that people hear louder as higher quality. It's just sort of a default. It's a default that humans tend to just do that, and so now they don't have taste, but that's the one thing that they understand is better.
Right.
Also, I think for a lot of people, they're not even looking at the quality of their photo, and they just don't want the auto camera settings to fail ever. Like the idea that like every single picture comes out usable to some degree, I think is like
Yeah, for sure.
I think it goes all the way back. We big circled this into. David said most people are looking at these as tools. These are tools. The brighter photo shows more information. The louder thing I may be able to hear more of. And most people care about it as tools because they don't mind that it's like a beautiful photo you might hang.
Yeah.
They mind that it's a photo that they can see their kid having fun on the playground.
Yeah.
And to play devil's advocate for the terrible HDR photo that we get from the before and after, it is easier for most people to turn the after into what they want than the before. Does that make sense? I can turn up contrast, bring the shadows back down, and like make it a regular looking photo out of the insane looking thing more easily than someone looking at the original, turning it into something that they think looks good and bright.
Depends on how compressed they make it, though.
Definitely. But like in general, like people don't know how to edit good photos.
That's fair.
So it's easier to just give them a flat, bright thing and be like, oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, David says I should have more shadows. I can turn it down. Now there's shadows.
I want to make one more analogy.
Yeah.
You know live, laugh, love core stuff?
Yes.
Like that you'd buy at like Marshall's or
Home Goods.
Home Goods or any cheap Airbnb you've
Classic.
ever been in.
Every time.
David, you came back with some heat this week.
I'm sorry.
We're going after Airbnb now.
All I'm saying is like actual like interior designers would never use that.
Interesting.
I don't know. This could be a whole
I'm thinking of it
analysis.
as like, it's like lines on a graph. Like no taste is just no correlation at all. It's just a blob.
But you're saying because they're being gravitated
But people are
towards live, laugh,
gravitating
love
towards
core.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's more than just no
That's
taste.
fair
It's
enough.
like some weird universal constant that we all enjoy. It's so strange.
You enjoy it until you realize how bad it is.
Yeah. And then you're gravitated towards something else after that.
Exactly.
It's the first step. Maybe it's like a step.
Yeah, it is. I think it is kind of a ladder.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway,
The taste ladder.
the taste ladder.
ladder.
I just don't understand why Google is positioning this as like a brand new like technological advancement thing. It's like it's literally just they hit the auto button,
Yeah.
which has existed for like 25 years. Like I don't.
Yeah, but they're all AI now. They all have to say
Sure,
it's AI.
I don't. It's
It's
like,
the artificial intelligence auto button.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Anyway, I just go try out like a Xiaomi phone or something, and you will see what a good smartphone camera is.
It just goes back to what we were saying before. Most of these
David needs to smoke break.
Really,
people just use these as tools. Like
Yeah.
we care about getting a good picture. Most people want to capture the memory.
well, that's ironic because the number one seller of smartphones has always been the camera.
Yeah, but not because they want to post it on Instagram, because they want to look at it in 12 years and be like, look at what my nephew was doing.
It is funny though because these events are pointing towards people like us who are judging the cameras based on taking a nice photo. So for the people
That's true.
that works for them aren't watching the Android show. The people who watch the Android show think this sucks.
That's true. There's a good amount of comments of people being like, "Ooh, tech reviewers are so out of touch. They always want this, that, and the other." But
Agreed.
really, regular people just want like to zoom into 50x and capture their kid on a stage
Totally
in kindergarten
agree.
being a
Tools.
pumpkin for Halloween. Like that's as long as you can get that and it's clear, it's like great. That's a win.
It's like a screwdriver, not a brush, you know?
I think it's beyond like people not having taste. I just think most people don't think critically and don't care, about how things like look or feel. Like remember, this is a country where we have about the same number of strip malls as schools. Like we're not thinking too deep about our surroundings.
Yeah, there's way more places that I could shop at. Why do we have this many schools?
Yeah, exactly. Or like, why should anyone need to
Go to my fourth home goods.
I haven't been to a school in forever. Don't need anymore.
Only like 10% of the population uses schools anyway.
That's a great point.
Do you think there's more babies than not babies?
Yeah, why do we have those things?
I read a stat last week that there's like a quarter of the amount of people, there's rats in New York City. Like there's
No
a
way.
quarter, yeah.
Wait, what?
Wait, hold on. I don't understand.
You're saying
what
there's four
said.
times as many rats in New York
There's,
City?
there's
Opposite.
one quarter as many
There's
rats.
one quarter of a
There's
rat
one
for
rat
every person.
for every 4 people.
There's one rat for every.
Yeah, one rat. Isn't that? That's like
That's a lot of rats.
pretty
Okay,
big
so
number.
There's
one
no
rat
way.
per 4 people.
That's
So
way
there's a
too many.
25% chance you have a rat following you.
There's a 25% chance you are a rat.
All right.
Like Men in Black, my face just comes off and it's a rat.
Yeah. Anyway, I understand. These are tools and brighter people think is better. And it's the same reason why, Apple can be like, oh, we are using pixel binning now. And so it's the same it's like the same quality, even though they're getting less light per pixel. And then dumbasses like me will be like, well, technically, the photo site is quite a bit smaller. And so the quality of the photo site is... And my uncle or I don't even have an uncle. My freaking, I don't know. My grandma, well, she's dead. My mom will be like, I just want to zoom in at 50x.
Yeah.
And that's all she wants to do.
Yeah, like when we see Samsung Space Zoom, and the first thing we do is go, 50x photos look bad, and then regular people see the commercial and they're like, finally, I can zoom into 50x and get that picture of that sign or that random stage performance for my kid that I was trying to get a picture
Exactly.
of. Or like I'm in the crowd at the baseball game and I can zoom all the way in on their face for some reason.
Yeah, that's fair. Like the default is going to be the one that most people use, and then the specialized tools are in the marketplace of ideas. That's fair. I do think Apple has a real opportunity to release like a pro camera app for themselves because they're really getting their lunch eaten, and they have the opportunity to Sherlock like never before. So we'll see if that happens.
True.
Anyway, I said I was going to have a generational crash out, so you can't.
Well, you told
can't-
most
you
people
can't
they
blame
have
me.
no taste. So I think check.
Check the box.
Okay, by most people, yeah, I do mean most people. I mean,
No one listening to this though. Everyone here
Yeah,
has
all of you
taste.
guys are good though.
yeah, I'm going to seem like such a in this episode.
Now we have to establish that we are better than the average person.
Like you would think,
by getting 0 trivia questions correct.
if I threw a frisbee, you'd probably think, "Oh my god, his form is
No. I would
That's
never
actually a
judge.
problem.
That's a perfect analogy, actually, because I know that you're not a frisbee player.
Yeah.
it's like a photographer judging a random person's photo. I'm not gonna. You're a random person.
Yeah,
You're
I
not a
wouldn't
photographer.
judge a random
But
person's
another
photo.
photographer,
right."
like if you were on a frisbee team,
That's-
I would judge your
It-
form.
That's the analogy.
It can bite you in the ass, man. There's so many warm-ups where I was like, is that how that guy throws a
That can
forehand?
bite
I'm going
you.
to tool him and get whooped by them on the field later. I've
True.
thought that about so many people that are now really good friends
That's
and
fair
have
enough.
crushed me on
But
that.
that's a good analogy because Google is basically the other photographer and Sony. And that's why we're like
They should know better.
They should
We're
know
just
better.
disappointed. We're not
I think
mad.
in this analogy, Google makes the frisbee.
We're so
Right.
deep down this rabbit hole.
Because it's just
it's
a
called an
tool.
Ultrastar, actually.
Yeah, but I'm saying
A disc,
the
okay.
tool is
so
being
they
used differently.
Oh, so they made a bad product.
So they made a disc that flies slightly differently, and us pro throwers are like, this turns way too
Yes.
fast, or this is like hanging in the air too long. But regular people are like, it floats forever. This is great.
yeah.
See?
That's good.
So yeah. Anyway,
That's good.
let the tools do the tool thing.
Okay.
But there should always be pro tools. Okay.
I haven't experienced the new soundboard yet.
It's pretty
It's
good.
great.
Grok context, please.
And with that note,
okay.
I think we should
Take
take a quick break. Let the steam out of our ears a little bit. But before that,
Subscribe and Google I/O next, and before that, and after that,
and then
or
trivia.
somewhere.
Let's do trivia.
Yeah, this is gonna be an episode for sure.
That's a tool.
It's already like 98 degrees in here.
I still can't remember
Wait,
when
what
I
was
said
that?
Do it again.
Can you do that again?
It's the Waveform Bros.
Why did I say it like
It's funny that I know that that's Marquez because I've heard that impression before, but
like, was I responding to something?
We have no
Waveform Bros?
Was I imitating something? I don't know why I said
know
that
you said
or
that
said it like that.
He probably
think I
said
remember
it, he probably
when
said
you
it when we weren't here.
No, I was here for
Oh.
sure.
Wow.
And we also have this one.
That
Did
one
I
could have
get
been any of us.
Today's question is Rachel, Mimi, Robin, and Shakira are all code names for what line of smartphones?
Rachel, Robin, Mimi, Shakira.
Shakira.
Shakira. Shakira?
Shakira.
Never really know. You make a man want to speak.
The hips? Interesting. Okay.
Don't lie, Marquez.
We'll think about it. I
Shakira's so good.
have no idea about this.
The Zootopia songs are.
What do you think about
Bangers.
this is like a smartphone whose code name was Shakira. It must be really groovy. Adam, look at this phone and tell me how groovy it is.
Did you hear that Brazil was trying to like sue her for tax fraud?
No, it was Spain.
Spain was trying to sue her for tax fraud.
She got out of it.
And she acquitted herself basically and was like,
Did her hips go on the stand? Because they can't lie.
nice. All right. We really gotta move on. Dumb. Is that me?
Yeah, that was you.
I don't remember that either.
We have a lot of good ones.
So many people have already tried to skip the ad break, and they're still getting us yapping
know.
about things, and it's not even an ad yet.
Okay. We'll think about it. Answers will be at the end like usual.
The long way.
And we'll be right back. This podcast is supported by Chefman. Quick Father's Day reminder, it's close, and if you're still blanking on what to get your dad, I get it.
Listen, dads are weirdly hard to shop for. I know from experience.
Yeah.
We either buy what we already want or we say we want nothing. But as a newly two-time father, here's the move. Ready? Get something he'll actually use.
It's a good idea. We've both been actually using the ChefIQ Sense, and it's one of those products that immediately earns a permanent spot in the cooking drawer. This is a wireless smart thermometer that connects to your phone and basically coaches you through cooking meat perfectly every single time.
And we're not just saying that as a slogan. I use it. It removes the most annoying part of cooking meat, which is guessing. I've always been a huge proponent of we cook meat to temperature, not to time. So you put the probe in, it tells you when to flip, when to pull it, when to let it rest, when it's ready to serve. It's the difference between hovering over the grill, stressing out, or just cooking with confidence.
Also, it's not just a grill thing. I've used it on the grill, but also in the oven, on the stovetop, and even with longer cooks. It works with basically any protein and any method. So yeah, it's a great Father's Day gift, and it's perfect because it's actually useful. So if your dad likes cooking at all, this is the type of gift that he's going to keep using, not just a one-time gimmick.
So we've partnered with ChefIQ for Father's Day to get you 40% off. That's a real discount, and it's an easy win.
So links down below. Use code WAVE for 40% off at chefiq.com. So that's code WAVE at chefiq.com. Get your dad the gift he'll actually use.
Thanks.
All right, welcome back. This past week was also Google I/O. Now, we did talk about the Android show the previous week, which was like Google took out all of the stuff that you might typically expect of I/Os in the past, which is like Android updates, feature updates,
The good
Android
part.
Auto, like the interesting, exciting stuff that's going to hit consumers
Yeah.
and that we can actually use and review. They took that out and made it a separate show week before I/O. We talked all about that. So that what does that leave for I/O? That leaves
Gemini.
a lot of Gemini.
Yeah.
Graphs.
Now, we know that I/O is a developer conference, and they have to talk to developers, and they have to talk to the people on the bleeding edge of like using these, tools, essentially, Gemini and all the other things that we're going to talk about. But I think as a whole, this I/O, since it was devoid of the Android stuff, felt like an overwhelming amount of especially named AI features. And if there's one thing about Google, it's that they can't help naming everything.
Everything.
Everything that they do. So we're going to jump into it. We can try to explain a lot of this new stuff, how much of it you may end up using someday, or how much of it is really technically advanced or cool. But I promise you, you will not be able to keep track of how many names there are.
Yeah, I think that this I/O was like the biggest example yet of the fact that Google is like 3,000 companies in one.
Yeah.
And that they just don't really communicate very much.
Because there's no cohesiveness or vision. It's just spamming. Like, it really does feel like there's 9 different companies who each had 3 ideas to present, and none of them talk to each other. And honestly, some of them step on each other.
Totally.
Like, there's Veo, and then there's also Nana Banana, and then there's also this new thing that's going to generate images and videos. Like, why are there 3?
Yeah.
So there's a real lack of visual strategy to what's happening. So we'll break it down. We'll show you what's new. But again, I promise.
Google Photos.
It's horrible. It's not just
Images, Google Pics.
Google Pics, brand new product.
Yeah,
it's not Google Photos or Pictures,
Yeah.
but it will generate some of those.
Yeah. So I last night thoroughly watched this like 3 times to my own dismay.
Oh my goodness.
I'm so sorry.
I
In
know.
4X though, probably.
In 2X.
Okay,
But
that's a little less bad.
I tried to do 4X and I just couldn't keep up.
It's still 3 hours if you watched it 3 times.
Yeah.
The amount of times in the show where they said like, I think they said, and we're just getting started at
They said that
minute
an hour
50.
in.
And I was like, what?
Don't do this to me. Yeah, well, the first time, to be fair, I listened to it in the car at
Okay.
2X, and then when I got home, I watched it again. Anyway, for some reason, they bounced back and forth between different products through the show. Like, they would announce something like Omni, and then later in the show, they'd talk about Omni again, and then near the end, they'd talk about Omni again. And it felt like because they took everything out from the Android show, they had to like pad the time because Google I/O is always 2 hours.
It's weird. I try to like think about who's the target demographic of these presentations, and maybe it's unfair to compare it to Apple, but like I think regular people watch a WWDC recap to
do.
see what interesting things are going to be happening.
Bunch
in
of
the
my
future.
friends watched Dub.
I'm not even going to make an I/O recap because so much of this is either not going to come out, or it's going to be dead in a year, or it's going to be really interesting and then it's going to get stepped on by some other updated Google product in like 3 months.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of very technically advanced stuff and impressive things that they got to demo. How much of it will actually show up? Like the live docs feature was really cool. Are they going to ship it? I don't know. Is it going to last? I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was a really cool demo, so we'll tell you about it. So
I was
that's the
also
thing.
very confused about who this was for because I/O was supposed to be for developers.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of this wasn't even aimed at developers. It was like them showing off their dominance in web and search.
And token usage.
Yeah, that was a weird flex.
Yeah.
Multiple
Sundar
times.
was just flexing constantly about how many tokens they consume. And then at some point, he was just like a salesman. And he was like, if your company used Gemini Flash 4.5,
I would save $1 billion.
you would save $1 billion.
His one stat was like 375 people have used 1 trillion tokens.
Yeah.
That is such a weird.
Also weird because Flash 3.5 is more expensive.
Then 3 was.
Yeah,
I think some of these
than
flexes-
3.1. So it's like,
Yeah.
Some of these things just felt like them saying, hey, we are the dominant AI company.
Yeah.
See these big numbers?
Yeah.
That's how you know.
I will say it's interesting that it's a developer conference, but in past years, they've had enough so that non-developers, like people like us, like the media,
Yeah.
can like really understand and digest
Yeah.
and understand like how you can use this in the real world. And this year, it didn't feel like it was for developers really, but because it was just products that were being announced, but none of the products were things that people would actually use. So
Only a few of them. Or if you were like like a real enthusiast who's like, I can't wait to deploy Gemini Spark to shop for me.
Which
Like
is-
there's a
yeah.
tiny fraction of people who are like, hell yeah, this is awesome. I can't wait for it to monitor the price of jeans online to automatically buy 6 pairs for me when it hits a certain price
Yeah.
threshold. But like that's not most of us.
Yeah.
I remember like 8 years ago at I/O, we'd all sit around being like, what are they going to name the next Android?
yeah.
And what's the big feature or two going to be that they try to like show us as awesome?
What's the new Nexus phone that is going to be under our seat when the show finishes?
When are we going to delete that chain link fence in front of this?
Never. So yeah.
So because they were hopping around so much throughout the show, I had originally just taken a ton of notes in like a linear fashion, and then I decided to order them into main chunks. So I have a models section.
That's where you messed up. You should just ask Gemini to do it for you.
I
Which
did.
one?
I did have Gemini do this for me. But then I went through and Anyway. Okay, so we have a model section. We have an agentic AI section. We have a retail section.
Okay.
We have an intelligent eyewear section, which is like the glasses. app and search overhaul section, and then the little ending weird DeepMind thing where we're on the foothills of the singularity, apparently.
Should we also save the intelligent eyewear section for the end for attention
Sure.
like Google did?
Sure. We could do
They
that.
got to that like 90 minutes into I.O.,
Yeah.
which was crazy.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll start with the models. New models, obviously, Gemini 3.5 Flash, and there will be a 3.5 Pro coming in a month, apparently. I don't know why it's taken so long to roll that out. That's kind of weird. Google claims that Flash is 4 times faster in output tokens per second than existing Frontier models and outperforms Gemini 3.1 Pro on key benchmarks, which is impressive if that's true.
I want to be like the regular person translator for these.
Yeah, do it.
I think that essentially would mean for the super quick queries that you're going to AI for that use Flash, they will be really, really good because they're benchmarking as well as Pro, and they'll be really, really fast. So you don't have to wait for it to type it out in several seconds of, is AI going to even get this right? Yeah. Ideally, it's way faster and way more accurate.
Yeah.
Ideally.
Yeah. To me, it also felt like Sundar was trying to get enterprise to sign up to use Gemini as their backend because Anthropic is currently making a load of money on that.
Yeah. Hey, do you make an app? Do you have like a thing that queries AI inside your app? Well, make sure it's Gemini Flash because it'll be the fastest, best one, best experience for your app user.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's rolled out already.
Yeah, it's already out. That's true. Yeah. They also demoed the Gemini Omni World model. So this one kind of confused me a little bit. What it is good at specifically is simulated physics and real-world reasoning to interpret combinations of text, audio, images, and video to generate realistic, editable video environments. They gloated a lot about how the model can do everything, but said, for now, it's only doing video. And I'm like, okay, it can do everything, but it can only do video.
Yeah. So my translation of this is like, hey, have you ever wanted to make an AI-generated video, but you wanted to use some inspiration from a photo and a video and some text that you wanted to describe some extra stuff in it and some other random thing you wanted to include? Well, you can now just loop all of that stuff in. It'll be one prompt, and Omni will turn it into something that includes all of that stuff.
Which the irony of all this is that I think the hierarchy of usability and value in AI is like coding is number 1, text generation is probably number 2. But people like AI less and less the more you get towards video, right? Like AI image generation, mostly bad, but you could use it for manipulation to make memes of yourself for your
Rage
friends.
bait misinformation is making a ton of money online.
Yeah,
this is perfecto.
And then, but then video, like I don't really know anybody who is hyped for AI video in any possible way.
Yeah.
In general,
I could even like think about a couple things I could use AI generated images for, like visualizing, like, hey, I've got this room. I want to visualize what this desk would look like in here with this wallpaper behind it. Okay, AI can help me see what that looks like.
right.
The video brainstorming, maybe. I don't feel like that's going to be very useful.
Yeah, and they really did a lot of AI video,
And it's the heaviest resource wise. Like it's the most difficult to do.
Yeah,
And it's, yeah.
Yeah.
Will Smith eating spaghetti.
yeah.
It's getting better.
And they specifically were like, it's multimodal. It can do everything. And I'm like, well, Gemini was already multimodal, so why do you need to call it Gemini Omni? Why didn't they just make an update to Gemini and say we can now do real world physics?
Because they need to name everything. This is what we talked about. Yeah, new Gemini Omni.
the naming team needed a raise, and they went all out for this.
Yeah. Okay, so that's it for the models. There's new agentic AI updates. We have Anti-Gravity 2.0, which I know Adam was actually a little bit excited for. If you don't remember what Anti-Gravity was, it's basically their coding environment that has all these agentic features where you can, code inside of it and stuff.
Yeah, a lot of people were confused because Anti-Gravity 2.0 is very much like the Claude desktop app, basically, or like Codex, I've heard. I haven't used Codex, but similar to that, where it's just like a chat or whatever.
Yeah.
They still have the IDE. So Anti-Gravity was their IDE, but I don't know what got lost in translation. I don't know why they named it the same thing. So this new thing now is Anti-Gravity, that you talk to Gemini and it'll like do the things. But if you want to open up the code and look at it with a real proper file structure and everything, you need to also download the Anti-Gravity IDE, which is a completely separate thing. And I don't know how much longer that's going to be around. I don't know. It's very confusing.
It looked a lot like a regular Gemini app. Like, it's strange. Anyway, it's for developers.
Wait, can I just? Sorry.
Yeah, go for it.
So if you're using anti-gravity 2.0 to make something, but you want to make sure you want to look deeper, you have to open up anti-gravity.
Well, so anti-gravity, if you
Anti-gravity,
tell it to build a thing, it will do it. And then it'll be like, you can click here to look at the code, and it'll pop up a little side window and preview like the actual code. You can scroll through it, whatever. But that's not typically how people build things. They have an editor for that. So anti-gravity, I believe, it's very similar to VS Code, which is a very popular one, open, like whatever. But that's a separate app entirely now on the computer.
I think
Seems right.
if you want to know if the Google teams talk to each other, there's your proof that they don't talk to each other.
It did feel to me like there's one tool for generating code with AI, and then there's another tool with a different name for auditing your AI generated code with another AI.
But it sounds like they're the same name.
But and then also like your regular code. So you can audit all of your code with AI.
All
But
of this-
AI coding sometimes makes mistakes. So you need someone or something to
need
audit
another
the
agent
mistakes.
to
So
audit
another agent can audit your code.
And if that's not confusing enough, there's also the anti-gravity CLI now, which is another terminal tool that is replacing the Gemini CLI, which was open source, and now it's not open source. So now you can control all of your agents all in one in the terminal, but you have to use their proprietary
And that's
tool.
also
So
called
it's-
anti-gravity.
And that's also called anti-gravity, the
sick.
anti-gravity CLI.
Jesus,
Yeah, it's going great.
Even if I was a developer, I would be really confused.
Do you think anyone showed up to their first day at work at Google and they're like, I'm on the anti-gravity team, and they went to the wrong
one?
building? It's like in school when you sit in the wrong classroom and 20 minutes in, they're reading the syllabus and you're like, do I get up and leave, or
I've
do
done
I?
that before for sure.
It's like, I get that they all do slightly different things, but they should be one thing.
It should be
instead of-
cohesive.
Yeah.
Shocker.
Well, and the irony of all of this is the general Gemini app can basically do all of this stuff too. Like, I've even like used the Claude app on my Mac, and I've like updated my website with features and stuff through Claude, and you can just do it through the chat. You don't even have to use Claude code, but there is a Claude code.
Yeah.
So it's like they make all of these sub products that are more optimized for the main thing, but the main model can still do all of the things.
Probably to like some 90-something percentile of the specialized tool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, they were very excited about Anti-Gravity 2.0. They built an operating system from scratch.
Yeah, that was a
Plugged it
demo.
into everything. Like they were showing Google search things that were building stuff with anti-gravity.
Yes.
All this stuff.
Which we will get to. But yeah, they built this operating system. They said it deployed 92 sub-agents over 12 hours to build an OS, and that it cost less than $1,000 in API credits.
Wow.
What use this has, who needs to build operating systems, I'm not sure. But I guess it was more of the scientists were more interested if they could, not if they should.
That's
type of
exactly right.
situation.
Yeah.
And then they ran Doom on it.
We could run Doom, yay.
So
Look, we're relatable.
yeah, relatable. Okay, Gemini Spark. This is basically Google's answer to OpenClaw. It's a 24/7 cloud-based personal AI agent that runs continuously in the background. It can actively parse your data to give you daily digests, like a child's school emails for deadlines, monitoring your credit card statements, etc. It's rolling out to trusted testers this week and rolling out to a new $100 AI Ultra plan. So this is the other thing that they have the same name for multiple things. They now have 3 AI Ultra plans
At 3 different prices.
at 3 different prices
Yeah.
that are not called like AI Ultra Plus or AI Ultra Ultra. They're just AI Ultra, but there's the $100 one, there's the $200 one down from $250, and then they have the crazy one, I think. Unless it's just the $200 one. Anyway,
So the way I'm thinking about this one for regular people,
the OpenClaw thing.
Spark.
Yeah,
like
Spark.
if you think about using AI as I do prompt, then AI does thing. Then I do prompt again, then AI does adjustment. Then I add prompt again, and it's like a back and forth thing.
Yeah.
The idea of an agent is it's able to go and do multiple things. It has its own agency. It has like the ability to do multiple things over time or in a row, or to go execute something for you without you having to prompt over and over again.
Right.
I did find this decently useful, and this is an example that'll come up again of like, I want to monitor when this thing drops below a certain price, but you'll have to check the market for listings of it over and over again. Let's do this every 12 hours for the next couple weeks until we find one that hits this certain price.
Yeah.
That's what the agent would do. It would just go, hey, I searched again, here's the results. Hey, I searched again, here's the one that actually hit your price threshold.
Yeah.
So it's instead of you searching over and over through the agent, it does it with agency.
Yeah. Yeah. And like
Spark.
all of these AI companies have come up with sort of an open Claude competitor. Like Claude now has one that can do it for you. One of my friends, they lost a bunch of data on their hard drive, and so they were using a recovery tool, but the recovery tool estimated like 800 hours to like recover the data. So he set it up so that the agent would check his computer and check on the progress of it like every once, like one day, and send him an update. So there are like some uses there.
I will say the Daily Digest I'm actually pretty excited about.
Yeah.
Because I've been getting like the beta one that gets like emailed to you in the morning.
So bad.
Really? I found it
mine's-
pretty helpful.
I like the formatting of it, but the
Yeah.
contents of it are useless to me.
Oh, mine is the opposite. I hate the formatting of it,
Really?
but I've actually found a couple of subscriptions that were like, oh yeah, I do have to cancel that free trial. You know, like it reminds you of things like that.
I think potentially I've connected it to too many services because it'll just be filled up with like a bunch of people left comments on your Google Docs, and I'm like, I already know that. Like I haven't marked them as resolved because I need to read them later. And so it's just telling me a bunch of things I already knew. It's like, here's what's on your calendar. Well, yeah, I got a notification
That's
for
why I
it.
have the
That's why the
calendar.
calendar notifies me.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe I can fine tune it a little bit.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's totally worth $1 trillion of investment.
Why don't you get an agent to fine tune it?
I'll deploy Gemini Spark.
Deploy 92
Make this better.
agents to fine tune it.
Yeah.
That's coming to the Mac desktop app later this summer for local file automation. So it'll be able to like actually touch your computer, because right now it can only do things like on the web. So, okay. 3 is retail. This is a grouped thing for Universal Cart and AP2. So this Universal Cart thing is kind of interesting. Clearly, Google has been trying to make Google Shopping happen for like 12 years now, 15 years now, where they really, really see all the money that Amazon's making, and they're like, we could have some of that.
They want to be a trusted retailer so bad.
So bad. So, and then they saw what TikTok was doing with TikTok Shop. And so now if you look at YouTube and you go to like, you know, anybody's YouTube video that has a product placement, they now have right below the video, like you can buy this and you can click on it. You can go to it and buy it, whatever. Probably not enough people use that they want to use it. So they created this thing called Universal Cart, which basically across Google Search, Gemini, YouTube, and Gmail, you can add things to your cart. You can click on a thing and say you're interested in it, but when it drops below a certain price, you're kind of interested in it. And it connects to your Google Wallet. So now as well, if it knows like that you have a certain credit card and that certain credit card gets certain cash back at certain stores, it will be like, oh, when you go to pay for this, you should use your Target card because it's at Target and you get 5% off at Target or something like that. You get cash back, whatever. I really, really think Google is just trying to find more revenue sources, because by making Gemini and making all this automation stuff, they are taking away from search ads. So they're slowly they're like, we're going to get ahead in the AI thing, even though it's taking away from our main business, but we need to figure out ways to make money from it if we're going to own it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting, but I remember seeing the study where there was a bunch of, they tested a bunch of these different models at how good is it at actually suggesting me like the right flights, the right hotel reservations, whatever, if you were just to say like, make me this trip.
Classic.
And like 90% of the time it gave the users like one of the more expensive options for the hotel, for the flight, all these things.
Also classic.
And so Google can now go to, you know, retailers and advertisers, and they can say, hey, look, we can slowly sort of like suggest these products towards these users. And kind of the overarching theme for I/O this year is just like, trust us more and more and more, bro.
Which makes me trust you less and less and less.
Yeah.
Yeah, because all I see with all of this is, I think you guys mentioned it on an episode I wasn't here, is like the new version of SEO. Because all of this is just going to lead into a different way that big companies can pay to be better results inside of AI.
Exactly.
That is 1000% where it's going, no matter what you say.
Yeah.
That's how it's going to work.
Yeah.
That's how people are going to make money on it.
Google is just like, oh, just don't make your own decisions. Like, let AI make all the decisions for you. And then they're going to advertisers and they're saying, now that everyone just trusts us, we can just suggest your products.
Yeah.
They don't
This-
even, yeah.
It points pretty directly to the direct trade-off between privacy and convenience, because, and this is also a shout out to Joanna's book, which you'll hear about that probably on an upcoming bonus episode. But like, if you just give your life to the AI, you just go, all right, you know everything about me, Google. It's kind of a privacy nightmare, but you have everything about me now. That is the best case scenario for actually getting the results that are most applicable to you. And so when you ask for it, yes, it will be skewed, but it will be skewed based on what it knows about you. And theoretically, it'll give you better products to buy or more useful suggestions
More
based
tailored
on
to you.
it knows about your car, your house, or whatever already. And so if you do decide to just give it all to the AI, then that will be your win. But not everybody wants to do that. And obviously that's the trade-off that they're trying to convince you to make.
It's why a lot of people like keep the Instagram ad tracking on, because they'll say like, oh, I actually like it because it gives me relevant products, and I'd rather have relevant products than, you know,
Turn it off.
the lingerie that I get.
There's literally no reason to have that on.
Wrong. I've gotten so many
Get ads
good
for interesting
products.
stuff. People want to get ads for
Yeah, I'm
stuff they wanna
telling you,
buy.
I told you there's a divide.
Some
The
people
thing is-
actually do want to buy stuff from Instagram.
It's not that I want to buy stuff from Instagram, is that it shows me brands from smaller brands, like that aren't just like Amazon or Shein. You know, like I find actual stores from Brooklyn or something because they're using targeted ads. It's good for small businesses. It's bad for me, but it's good for small businesses.
That's Facebook's.
No,
point.
bad argument, bad take, bad argument. Do not turn on app tracking for the sake of helping small businesses. That is ridiculous.
That was
But turn it on if you're
Helping small
love
businesses
materials.
by letting one of the largest companies in the world sell your data. Are you serious,
How
bro?
else are you going to find
The
them?
small business has been spending money desperately trying to find good customers, and this is the way they actually get to that customer.
I'm not accepting any of these.
I only
Will be
make
on my
everything that I
side.
use.
The
This Knicks
reason-
jersey, I sewed it.
I know a few people who like use meta advertising, and they're literally like, you put in $10 and $30 pops out. Yeah. So clearly it works.
There's a lot of shit wrong with Meta, but that product is a money fountain.
There's a
It
reason
works.
Meta is a giant corporation, and that small, like everyone uses it. I don't think that, you know, only small business, whatever, but if you are a small business and you put $10 in and $30 pops out, I mean,
Yeah.
Unrelated and related, they're doing a shit ton of layoffs today. So clearly this is not great timing for any of this Meta
Who
stuff.
is?
But
Meta?
They laid
I
off
guess
like
who is
10,000
then?
people this week.
again?
Yeah.
8,000, yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, that's great.
AI, baby.
Okay, the other thing in retail is there is now this thing called AP2, which is Agent Payments Protocol. And basically, Google is scared that the agents are going to hallucinate with your credit card information. That's what they are terrified about. Because they want you to be able to tell your agent, like, oh, if this brand, like if this shirt from this brand goes on sale, can you just buy it for me? Which is kind of crazy to think about, like that something could just agentically like shop for you without you having like discrete input.
Yeah.
It's kind of close to what like an ultra rich person who has like a personal assistant.
Yeah.
They'd be like, I mean, you'd be too rich to do this, but you'd be like, when it hits a certain price, just
Yeah.
buy it for me.
Right.
But we don't have personal assistants. But it's like, now my phone is a personal assistant. I'll just have it wait on something for me, and it has infinite capability of waiting and finding the right thing, and then it just does it.
It's the weird thing of AI where it's like, that is a totally reasonable thing to ask, but at the same time, weird robot internet has my credit card number. Like both of these things are true, and I'm terrified.
Well, it's kind of the next step. Do you remember Amazon Dash buttons?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for the youngins out there, Amazon used to like give you for $5 you could buy this Amazon Dash button, and they give you a $5 credit, and it was a button that you could assign to any product on Amazon. So when you hit it, it ordered it for you.
It was like if you put it by where you keep your paper towels, like something that you restock a lot on. So like
Exactly.
every time my paper towels are almost up, I just press it, they're gonna come to my door.
Tide Pods,
Yes.
famously.
Tide Pods. So like what Samsung and all these companies have wanted to do forever is put cameras in your fridge so it automatically does this for you, right? That's like, because these companies, they're like, oh, if people bought things as soon as they ran out of them every single time, and they bought the same thing over and over and over again, we could make more money because that's more purchases per hour, right? So that's what Google's trying to do here. They're trying to make it like, oh, because all these ad companies, the main problem that they have with like the Facebook Pixel, all this stuff, they see that you're interested in something because you interacted with it, but actually getting you to make that payment and actually go through with the purchase is the hardest part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And so Google's like, well, what would it take for you to buy this?
Would
Would it
make it
take
as frictionless as possible.
would it take a $20 discount? What if it got to a $20 discount? Would you definitely buy it? Can I just do it for you? Like, yeah. So that's
That's a really good point. I feel like there's so many times where I have something in my cart and I almost buy it and it's like, no, not right now. But there's way less commitment of being like, well, you know, like if you found this thing later, and then it's just going to show up at my door.
Yeah.
Like chances are, if that's what I was thinking in my head, I would go back to that in 2 weeks, probably get to the same point and be like, I don't really need this.
Yeah, exactly.
Google's trying to get past you don't really need this.
And
It's
that's
like,
something that Meta doesn't have, because the only thing Meta really has is when you like hover over something for too long, it'll just keep showing you the ad like more and more often, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, this agent payments protocol, it's basically just a protocol that's helping agents shop for you, but making sure that they don't pass any weird boundaries and buy things that you don't want. I think this is kind of just security for them to get advertisers to actually advertise with them, and for them to be like, don't worry, we won't make users return a ton of stuff.
this has the potential to really screw up some smaller businesses who might have a bunch of accidental purchases that then have to be returned and maybe can't be put back on shelves, or have lots of accidental purchases that could create waste and kind of screw over a small warehouse.
Yeah, because if you have returns and then it's worth nothing, and so it's a whole thing. All right, number 4, app and search overhauls. Search AI mode got an upgrade to Gemini 3.5. Queries that are at an all-time high because users are now treating search like a conversational partner, apparently.
Allegedly.
Sundar did say that like now people are putting more natural language into Google search, which I have actually found myself doing, because it used to be that we knew the language of SEO.
Everybody under a certain age grew up learning how to Google something.
Yeah.
Whether you had a class in it or you learned some internet literacy somewhere or from someone you know. So you have to know what words to type into Google to find what you're looking for, and then also like how to exclude certain phrases or like put things in quotes to find like things together.
To add
all
Reddit
of that
to the end.
That's like a skill that we all learned.
Yeah.
That under a certain age, people have not had to learn that, because they either just go straight to an AI agent or an AI and just type it in natural language and it finds it for them. And so now, there's this like blurred line of people who grew up not learning how to Google things, but then they just use natural language in Google, and it kind of works.
It kind of works
kicks them to
now.
AI mode anyway, and
Yeah.
it's fine.
It didn't used to work at all, and now you can do that, and it'll automatically do AI mode, and you can just keep talking to it.
Yeah.
Anecdotally speaking, I've been using that a lot more just because the regular SEO speak that I grew up using doesn't work anymore.
That's true.
So I've just been like trying to get something. So I'm like, okay, let me just ask it the way I would normally ask something.
Yeah. What's crazy now, though, is that Google Search now has dynamic layouts, which can code custom visuals for you on the fly, and it can also build shareable mini apps like a weekend planner itinerary. So how this was shown off was basically, I think it was Josh Woodward that did this. But he was like, oh, I want to do like this weekend thing with my kids and my wife, but I'm not really sure what to do. Like, can you suggest me things to do? And so it builds this little mini app inside of the Google search window that shows the weather. It shows like suggested locations. It shows like dinner places they can go to and stuff like that. And you can talk to Google search to sort of modify it, and it will change the code of the app in real time. And you can share that with whoever. Which a part of this for me, it was like, man, people really want to offload every decision they've ever had.
I just like the idea of then your like wife comes over like, oh, did you figure out what we're gonna do this weekend? No, not yet, but check out this app that's trying to figure out what we're gonna do.
It's like if you have a dog and like your dog is like can't stop throwing up, and so you take your dog to the vet and then you come to pick it up later and you're like, so is my dog gonna keep throwing up? Did you fix that? The vet's like, I didn't fix that, but your dog is literally a transformer now. It's like this. I still have a
Look
puking
how shiny
dog.
his fur is.
That's how I feel about Google search.
Yeah. Yeah, it's strange.
I've Google searched so many things during this show, and the AI review has been wrong about every single one of them. And I'm just like, I'm so sick of this. Please do not build me apps. Please just serve me relevant information.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny that we, like, remember when they added in the suggested snippets where it would, like, give you the answer within Google search, and people freaked out because they're like, people aren't going to the links if you do this. People won't go to the links. And now they're like, if a kid searches, how does a black hole work? It'll just generate an animation on the fly of a black hole colliding with another black hole.
Yeah. Which is on one
worse.
hand,
Like-
one hand, it's way worse. All of the sources don't get any traffic. All of the people who worked really hard on all the information and research that made that possible don't get any credit.
Yeah.
But on the other hand,
Yeah. It's
that
cool.
kid just got an instant like
Animation.
explainer
If it's right, if it's
understanding.
correct.
If
it's
it's
correct.
correct.
That also confused me though, because they said they would build it every time on the fly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There has to be some sort of like, that's a pretty normal question.
Well, it's based on your specific query.
But like, let's say your query is, how does a black hole work?
Yeah.
There's more than one person searching that every day. Like, why are you rebuilding that every time? That has to be wasteful. Like, why
Yeah.
not just...
I think in
but
the,
tokens cost
that's
money.
probably true, but there's such a long tail of unique Google searches every single day. I think what they're thinking is in such a specific query, which is like what would it look like if a black hole the size of a peanut collided with Manhattan? And it's like, boom, here's a simulation of that. Which I don't know, maybe 3 people Google that every day. I don't know like how many people say that, but there's like a ton of unique versions of that question that it can build a tailored animation just to help you with.
Because they have TPUs.
I've been trying to Google what is the largest U.S. data center by power consumption, like by megawatts. And it gave me a list, right? Which seems like it's fine. The top 5 answers are hallucinations on the list. So it's just like, what's the point of this?
I think these are more in like longer, well-established. Like this is something I found too. Like when you ask questions to Google about like current events or recent information or recently updated things, it gets it wrong all of the time.
Yeah.
But if you ask it something about like a 10-year-old science theory or like an animal that everyone's been writing books about or something that's not like current events or brand new, then you'll get stuff that's pretty locked in, like rock solid.
Right. Yeah.
So it's the black hole stuff. I
Yeah, it is strange. It feels like Google searches, they're kind of just trying to nudge people towards the process of using a Gemini search chat, like a Gemini chat, as opposed to searching things anymore. So, okay, Google AI Studio. Now you can build full Android apps from scratch with a prompt, and you can publish them directly to the Play Store, which means we're going to get a lot of slop apps that are
Slop
terrible.
apps, here they come.
So many.
Next I.O. they're
slop
going to brag
apps.
about how many new apps were created. Guarantee it.
This is so bad. Like, they should not let you publish these to the Play Store.
Well, yeah. Will they meet a bar of being approved? Because Google has a famously lower bar of being approved.
Yeah.
Apple, it'll be like, oh yeah, you can use code to make apps, but it's not like I hit a button and it generates an app from scratch and then I submit it and it's in the store already.
Yeah.
Like there's at least some threshold to quality.
Yeah, but does that mean they're going to have to hire like 50 times as many approvers?
Yeah. Yes, it
They
does.
can have AI.
They're just gonna have one AI.
Oh, true.
They're
Deploy
just
the
solving
agents.
their own
That's
problem.
true.
Hey,
That's
Gemini,
true.
is this good enough? You made it.
Also, I tried this yesterday and it did not work.
Really?
Yeah, I mean the app
Was it
that's
updated
on
yet?
your Android phone is not out yet, but they have like a web version of the AI Studio thing, and it just like wasn't doing the thing.
Cool.
What was the app you tried to make?
I forgot. Wait, let me look it up.
The
Do
thing
people really have this many app ideas all the time?
well, okay.
Well, mine was
That's what I want.
dumb idea.
Well,
mean-
I can't even think of a cool dumb idea right now.
I think that what a lot of people might do in the future is like there are a lot of apps that are paywalled. And if you're just like, I want a calorie tracker app.
So stealing.
Yeah. That's what all this is. It's all stealing. It's all stealing.
And it's also people want a lot of people want apps that are specifically tailored to them. So like there's a bunch of generic versions of apps that do something. I won't say his name, but I have a teammate who's like, I want an app that can like tell me specifically if I need to wear sunscreen today, and all it does is intake like how long I'm going to be outside, what the weather is, what my skin tone is, and all these other things. And so just like, there's no app that does that, so just build me the app, and then it'll just do it for you. Where you could probably find an app that does like 2/3 of what you're asking, but then
Has too many
is the developer
features.
going to do the extra feature you want? I don't know. So just or maybe you want a task manager app. And there's a certain feature, I just want it to be like this, but also with this extra reminders thing, where it's geotagged and it reminds me to do something when I get to a certain place. Whatever. I want an app just for me. Then this is your way of making an app just for you. So like, why put it on the Play Store? I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's why
Yeah.
I see people making apps.
Yeah.
Adam made us local frame IO. That's just like video player, big clock, add comments, export comments as CSV. It's perfect.
That's something that just for us, we would use it. We would never put it on the Play Store or whatever, but like it's useful for
I mean,
us.
one thing that's cool about this too is that you can export the app and send it to just friends and family without putting it on the Play Store. Sure. So I think that's a sort of interesting idea of making like family apps or friends apps and stuff like that.
Ooh, a group chat. Oh, there's no bubbles. Never mind.
Wait, can we do group
You could make them
challenges?
blue.
Turn the bubbles blue.
I found my app idea from yesterday.
What was it?
And it also, this is a late episode. Did they even test this? Because this goes back to an issue I've been having. So on Fitbit, they have meditation minutes. And if you try to meditate for 10 minutes with a Pixel Watch, it'll vibrate on your wrists for the entire 10 minutes so that you know to breathe along with it. It's like breathe in, bzzz,
Oh my god.
breathe out, bzzz. Like they got way too cute with it. I just want a timer that will vibrate at the end of 10 minutes to let me know you're done.
That probably tanks the battery life too.
Probably,
Yeah.
but they don't have that. So I tried to have AI Studio build it for me, and instead it built me an interactive dashboard where I can play with a fake Pixel Watch 3.
Which is technically
asked
really impressive, but
All you
not
asked to
useful
do
at
is
all.
Build a timer. You said build a 10-minute timer, and it said
Yeah.
what?
I think
hold my
because
beer.
I said for my Pixel Watch 3,
Oh
it
my
freaked
God.
out and it built a whole other thing. So
You
yeah.
might be onto something though with the group fitness challenges.
Can we finally have our own group fitness challenge?
This is something we've wanted. Well, I think we should. This is the perfect ideal for us. We
group
should be able to
fitness.
build a multi-platform group fitness challenges app,
It's a
so
good
that
idea.
in our studio we can distribute it among us, and we can use whatever wearable we want,
Yeah.
and
What?
it'll normalize all of our stats, calories,
I
steps.
built it. I can make it so I always beat Market.
No, that's it. I will look in your code. I will inspect your code with my agent
We have to
to
share
find
the
out if you're cheating. Agent, look at his code. Yeah.
Peer reviewed.
Anti-gravity. Look at his anti-gravity.
Peer reviewed. Okay. Google Pics. We referenced this at the beginning.
What a transition.
Can you stop Google? Can you stop Google Photos, Google Pics, Google Images?
They literally they showed the slide. They're like, "This is Google Pics," and I was like, "Are you sure you want to name it that?
Sure.
Why are you doing this?"
This is a new text and hover image editing tool. Basically, it's sort of similar to, we talked about Google Books a little bit last week, how you can sort of like hover the mouse cursor over things and it sort of intelligently knows what you want to do with it.
That's not Google Books. That's the Google Book.
That's the right, because Google Books
Google
is,
Book, yeah.
is
confused with Google Books.
Yeah, Google
which
Books.
is Kindle. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the Kindle thing.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's books on the Google Play Store. Google Books is the online literature database.
No, that's you're thinking of Google
that's-
Play Books.
Yeah, no. Google Play Books is the book, is the Kindle.
Isn't
thing.
the online database literature thing like,
That's called Google Books.
is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then there's also Google Scholar.
Scholar. That's what I was thinking.
Google Scholar is also different.
That's another thing. That's all the papers and research and PDFs and stuff.
This is untenable.
Do you know that
is
the
a
one?
problem.
It's called Google Get F***ed.
All right. Anyway, so it's this text and hover image editing tool. Basically, you take an image in and you can say like, zoom out, and it'll like add extra.
It's a photo
context.
editor.
It's a photo editor.
Why is it separate from?
Why is it separate from Gemini?
Yeah.
This is my question about every single one of
sorry.
these products.
Imagen is a Google DeepMind product. They're on Imagen 4 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
this
said,
is different.
sorry, I was making another pun because you said you can take an image in, and I was like,
Oh.
no, Imagen is which is true. Imagen is actually a separate Google product.
Yes. Correct.
So yeah,
Why
Google's-
do they have 50 of these?
Why is this not in Google Photos?
Why don't they just
That's,
say?
that's
yeah.
the first. As we were watching it, I was like, "So is this going to be built into Google Photos, or is this separate?"
Give it a year.
Google Pics is separate from Google Photos, which is separate from.
Or
Google
literally,
Images.
they can just say Gemini can now do this other thing now. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand. Why are they spinning them off into a ton of different products?
because this team is in a different building.
I mean, last year at I/O they announced this big product and they sunset it last month. Like I bet you within a year, 80% of these are going to be shut down.
Yeah,
Do you
that's
think
actually valid.
the people who make the Google logos are just like, finally finished my backlog, and then they look at the just 25 new names that pops out of
We
Google
need new
I/O, and they're
logos.
just
They're
like, oh my god.
They go to a thesaurus and they look up photo and they're like, what other products do we use for every single thesaurus? Okay. Okay, they have Google Stitch and Google Flow now. They already had these, I guess, but they're updated. Stitch was a website builder, and now it's updated. And yeah, it can build you websites in real time. And then Google Flow allows creators to edit 16 video scenes simultaneously, but there's also Google Flow Music, which can take, like, they gave it an example of, they played a piano riff, and the guy was like, what would this piano riff sound like if there was a bass guitar and a singer?
It was insane. It was just another insane demo that somehow has a name and a product.
Yeah.
It's like,
Which you should just be able to
It's
put
just
the audio
Gemini.
clip in Gemini and say, do this.
yeah.
We're getting to
I
the
don't-
point in I/O where they kept cutting to the audience, and I've never seen
I
a group of people who were more bored. Like the amount of just looking down at phones that happened by at minute 90, it was rough.
It was really funny. Yeah, I meant to bring that up. They kept cutting to the audience like every 30 seconds. And the first 20 minutes of the show, they were cheering for stuff and they were pretty pumped. And Sundar would be like, and 1 trillion tokens. And they'd be like, wow. By minute 70, they would have like pause for applause on the teleprompter. You could tell. And it would just be a few seconds of silence. And then they would just move on, and you'd cut to the crowd, and they'd just be like on their phones, trying to figure out what's going on.
There was one point where the presenter said, "And you can clap for this."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
that's painful." All right. Basically, last thing. Oh no, because we'll get to the glasses. But last thing here with the app and search overhauls, SynthID and C2PA. If you don't know what C2PA is, it's content credentials. We made a dedicated video on the studio channel about it. That is also tied in with an M11P video. You can go watch that if you want to know more about it. But SynthID is Google's AI watermarking feature, where basically every piece of AI generated content that they make has like an invisible watermark in the metadata that other AI that previously only Gemini could read, and it would tell you whether or not something was AI. They're expanding that significantly to basically every company, which is really good. Like that's something that's very important. It's very ironic that they're creating the exact thing that you now have to check. There was a part where I think it was Sundar was like, only 1 in 4 people can tell when a piece of content is AI generated, and that's why we made SynthID.
It has like the same shades of like, we've made this smartphone extremely like addictive. And so we have this digital well-being feature that you can use to use your phone less. So like, oh yeah, we've made this AI-generated content extremely realistic. And so now we've developed another AI tool to help you decide if it's real or not.
Yeah.
Dude, I think a perfect example of what we talked about before is like, the problem with this is we created the tool that can spread a ton of misinformation, but also the tool that can prove it's misinformation. The problem is the 10 million people who saw the misinformation, 100,000 of them might see the watermark. The Sony tweet that you said before that had 13 million views, the follow-up tweet that explained it a little more had 300,000 views. Like people aren't looking for the update. They're reading the title, watching the image, seeing the video, and now that is fact.
And to be clear, it's also always in the context. So this is it's not a visible watermark. It's basically buried in an invisible form so that when you scroll past this on your feed, you aren't thinking, oh, let me go drag this and check this to see if it's AI or not.
Yeah.
When you just see it in your feed randomly, you're not in the context of like thinking, is this AI or not? So it just doesn't get checked.
Which is why, and this is the first time I'm ever saying this and the last time I will ever say it, Meta actually had a good idea. And on Instagram, they put the AI info thing, although AI info is terrible verbiage and they should just have edited with AI or modified with AI or generated with AI. But that was f***ing up because if you used Photoshop at all, it would say AI info, which is all broken. But the platforms themselves need to support SynthID.
Another rare statement. To Twitter's credit, now this is where it gets weird. They tried to implement this thing where it auto detects if the image you're attaching is made with AI or not, and if it is, then it adds a little tag so that in the feed as you're scrolling, you don't have to think about it. It'll just say made with AI.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's a ton of false positives, and I've uploaded images that are not made with AI, that it just tags them as made with AI.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how it's reading that, if it's just trying to look at the image and decide, or if it's using C2PA or some combination of that.
Yeah.
I don't know, but there's a ton of false positives.
And it needs to go a step further, not to bandwagon off that. It can't just be like accurate, reliable SynthID usage. It needs to be like it can't be like a black box, because when you have these platforms that are acting as publishers, if hypothetically there's a politician that the owner of Twitter does not like, there's nothing stopping them from just slapping the AI generated label on all of their
or the
content.
other way around on their something is AI generated from
you know
someone
what I
they
mean?
do like and taking it away.
Yeah. The only reason it has to be a black box is because of bad actors, like outside bad actors who want to abuse and show things on the feed and get through the algorithm without the tag.
Well, that's why C2PA has a trail that you can actually follow. Like when something has content credentials on it and you pull it into like the content credentials checker thing, it shows you every edit that's been added and when that edit happened. But I don't think that SynthID has that. It just tells you if it's been made with AI or not. But either way, it is really good that a ton of services are picking up on SynthID. It's just very ironic that it's basically like Google's like, look at all this slop that you can make and trick people. And then there's also, they had a bunch of influencers like bake digital twins of themselves with Gemini Omni.
I did not like those.
It was so weird. Like they had a Disney adult basically talking about her favorite Disneyland foods, and then they had her climbing a rock, and it was just very it was just creepy and weird, and we shouldn't do that. Slop generators.
But before we move on away from AI products and towards
I
wearables,
can't wait till we move on.
I just want to say I think
about to.
I think we're going to see a lot more of this over the next year because there's so much like circular money in the AI space, and there's so much money committed to these data centers. I did finally find a list, and the most important number is that like right now in the U.S. we have about 18 gigawatts operational. In the next like 10 years, we're planning on building 334 gigawatts. For perspective, 1 gigawatt is about as much as a large nuclear power plant produces. And so like all of the companies like burning through these tokens for a large part are doing this on like subsidized money because companies like NVIDIA are funding these like startups that are then buying tokens with the NVIDIA money. So all the companies like Google that are starting to what do they say? Like their declarations of intent to like spend all this money on data centers.
Oh, yeah.
They need to find customers that they are not paying.
Right.
And like fast, because otherwise like the dates, these starting construction dates are going to start coming around, and they're not going to have the cash flow to, again, build hundreds of times of the electricity, like.
I mean, OpenAI in particular, right? Like they have basically said like, oh yeah, like our numbers don't make sense, but next quarter we're going to add 350 billion new users.
Yeah, so we're gonna see just like
that real
tons and tons and tons of like these like AI product cases, and just like a desperate attempt of like, hey, can you please buy some tokens that we didn't pay you to buy?
Right.
Have you guys ever heard of the term Ponzi scheme? It seems
Circular
really
cash flow.
familiar right now.
Yeah. It's just that the problem right now is they're building so much infrastructure, but they just are not seeing the demand. And they're having a lot of demand, and they're saying, oh, like, look at all this demand. We need to build the infrastructure. But they're building so much infrastructure because they say the demand is going to scale to that within the next 10 years, but the numbers are not showing that it actually is going to. And that's why Gemini is getting put in every single product, because it creates demand that people didn't ask for.
And
So-
usage.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
they're just
artificial demand.
Getting rid of the thing you're actually using and replacing it with the AI overview, and then being like, look at all the people that are using AI overview.
Yeah, they actually clearly did that on stage where they were like, yeah, we've never had as many people using AI mode in Google search. And I was
like,
like,
because
I've mostly been using it by accident, actually.
Yeah. Well, that's what's it like automatically AI modes for you.
Yeah.
So obviously,
We have a lot of usage.
This year, we've seen a record number of people fall down the stairs. Coincidentally, we removed all handrails.
yeah, it's Alison Johnson wrote a really good piece at The Verge right before Google I/O about how Gemini is getting way too close to being like in your face a little too much. Like at first, it was like, oh, yeah, I can use Gemini for that. But now that they've put Gemini in every single Google product,
The search box.
the logo is everywhere. It's like, do you want to do it with Gemini? You want to do it with Gemini? You want to do it with Gemini?
Dude, opening a Google Doc, it just like surrounds your doc.
There's something at the bottom of our page right now I've never
Yeah,
seen before.
it's a new little toolbar.
Describe any
Yeah.
changes you want to make.
It tries to like edit your document for you. There's the Gemini logo in the top right where you can do the same thing.
Dude, if you open Google Docs, it's just like, they are really trying to use like as much AI as possible. It's in
Yeah.
the top right corner. It's in the bottom corner. It's
Because they have to
around the
glow
doc.
about how much people are using Gemini at the next Google I/O.
Yeah.
This is their whole thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. We're going to talk about the smart glasses now.
Yeah, so we can talk about the glasses. The last bit really with the glasses is they saved it for near the end, but they unveiled that they would have what they called audio glasses.
Yeah.
But it's essentially the same product as Meta's Ray-Bans, but with Google's AI and Gemini instead.
Yeah.
So with Warby Parker, I think, and Gentle Monster, they have like these two form factors of these glasses with cameras on the front, with speakers, with microphones, with the compute on them, and you can talk to Gemini, which of course is linked with your phone and can do a bunch of things like deploying agents and all that fun stuff that they talked about through the whole keynote. You can do all of that with just wearing the glasses.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know why they're called audio glasses. Maybe because
now they're going to have
Use
the
audio,
screen.
baby.
They're
I guess
going to
because-
have the screen
Yeah.
glasses.
So audio is the main way that you're interacting with Gemini, since there
Yeah.
is no display. They will for sure at some point have a monocular and binocular version of like a display glasses. Maybe that's what they'll call them
They
in the
said
future.
next year.
So that'll be coming.
Visual glasses.
Yeah, but yeah, these are the audio glasses, and they are I guess in collab with Samsung and Wear OS,
Android
and,
XR.
and Android XR.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gemini.
Yeah, they had some cool demos actually though. They had the lady come out and she had the glasses on and she was like, "Hey, can you direct me to that place that I went with Allison last week?" And it knows exactly where that was, and I think that's kind of cool. And then it's like, "Do you want to stop for your cold brew on the way that you usually get?" Which I thought was kind of interesting. And again, making more money for the advertisers.
Everything is like, how do I get your credit card information?
How do I prompt
Google
you?
is a phishing scam at this point. Like, just everything they do just wants me. They want my credit card information.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And then as she's like walking there, it's like she's like, "Oh, hey, can you order it for me so it's ready when I get there?" And then it like, agentically uses her phone and like taps through the things and uses DoorDash to like order it for her, which I was like, I guess nobody's going to be talking to the baristas anymore. It's like what happened with Starbucks. When Starbucks introduced their app,
Yeah.
and it's like tons of people will be waiting in line, and then people will just come in and get their coffee because they had to prioritize the mobile orders because
Yeah.
it was a new feature that they needed people to use.
And it was probably most of their business.
It probably still is most of their business. Yeah.
I feel like we had it. We had that happen to us. Remember? I don't remember where we were.
Yeah, I
We were
remember
at
this.
Some event where like
Yeah.
we were at the front of the line for a solid 5 minutes, and no barista talked to us or even acknowledged us as they just went back and forth making mobile orders.
Yeah.
And people walked in, picked up their food, and left. And we were at the front of the line for like
just
several minutes.
Order in the store.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of
Order from the
every
phone.
drive-through. Are you using the app today? I would tell you if I was using the app today, please just take my order.
Yeah.
I don't know why it has to ask me every single time.
I forget that they have apps for fast food now. That's great.
Which is fine. I think that's like I don't have a problem. I don't use them, but I don't have a problem with them. But you can just say hello.
Yeah.
I use some apps, but the drive-through should first say,
We're narrowing
"What can
down.
I get for you?"
Yeah, just
or
already
like,
using
"How
the
are
app
you
today."
today?" And then I could say, "Oh, I have an order on the app."
Yeah. And then they'd give you your food.
Yeah.
Something I don't think that Google is quite prepared for is there's a lot of negativity around the Meta glasses, because people in general hate AI, but people especially hate being filmed without their consent
That's the main thing.
and then stuff being put online about it. And I've seen there's clips of people who are like, people will be like, "Hey, are those Meta glasses? Are you recording me right now? Are you blah, blah, blah?" And Google basically went through this with Google Glass 1.0 because they didn't put a recording indicator on the front. I really, really, really hope that they're dictating that every Android XR glass device needs to have a recording indicator.
They didn't talk much about it.
They didn't.
It's got to.
I hope so. But I just am a little bit worried that the more, because right now there's basically the Meta glasses and that's basically it. There's like some other smart glasses, but nobody uses
alternate
them.
ones, yeah.
Yeah, but like nobody buys those. So I'm a little concerned that like once, because the Android ecosystem of smart glasses, which will be a ton of companies at some point, once those come out, everyone's going to be like, am I being recorded right now all the time, right? Because at least when someone picks up their phone and records you, it's obvious to you.
Yeah.
But the amount of unwanted recording is going to go way up, and the sentiment around AI glasses is going to go way down.
I wonder if, I mean, I don't know if they would do this, but I wonder if it's possible for Google to add some sort of a hardware requirement for
I would assume so.
I think
Android
they
XR
could.
glasses.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
think they
like
could.
if you want to use Android XR, you must have insert minimum resolution here, insert
Red
cameras
light.
here,
Red
insert
indicator.
like
Red
indicator
indicator.
recording light.
Yeah.
That would be neat.
Yeah. I hope so.
It should be also when the glasses are recording when you didn't ask them to.
Anytime the
just when
camera's
you're-
turned on.
anytime that sensor is detecting light, period, a light should be
Which is something that
feels obvious.
Pixels do, right? Or is it Androids do? Where like you can have the indicator come on that any single time that the microphone or the camera is turned on, there is an indicator in your status bar.
Yeah, that's an Android
Yeah.
feature. So I hope Android XR has that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, like when Meta released the Ray-Bans and they were trying to get you to use the AI features and like literally nobody uses them, I always thought that the AI stuff was stupid. But that's mostly because I don't trust Meta and I don't trust Meta AI. But because you use Google all the time, I actually see a lot of use cases where I have a thought about, because I take photos about things and then search them all the time. So being able to do that and knowing it's Google on the back end, I feel a lot more confident in it. So I would actually probably use this type of product a lot.
Yeah.
The problem is the cameras.
Yeah. It just depends on how plugged in you're willing to be.
And
like
how
imagine the magic cue moment where you don't even have a display, but someone texts you and goes, "Hey, remember that picture from the crane on top of Marquez's Tesla?" And you're like, and the assistant on your glasses goes, "Do you want to just send him the picture?"
The funny
And it doesn't even show you the picture.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Do you trust it that much? Do you trust it that much?
And then it's like, Mistos replied, "What the
Why would you send me that?
Well, imagine you ask your glasses to buy you your cappuccino and you get there and you've got like a triple deluxe ham sandwich or something, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to
take a
trust
picture of it with your Xperia and it blows it out."
Or like worse, all of the stuff you just said works on the first try. And then you're just this weird meat vessel for a Google data center somewhere.
Which is exactly what they want.
Like picture then a few days later being like, "Yo, thanks for sending me that pic." And you're like, "I don't know what you're talking about." I just wear the glasses. Control me. It's like, you
I
just
have the
arrive
feet
at the
for my
coffee
glasses.
shop, you pick up your food, like, "Why am I here?"
because it just suggests you things nonstop and you just say yes or no.
It's like turn left. You're like, why am I turning left? Oh,
Where am I going?
Coffee shop. Whoa.
I feel like a lot of these tech companies used to try to solve problems, and now they're just
Both.
no. I feel like they're trying to like guide user behavior
Yes,
instead of answer
100%.
our issues.
100%.
Have any of you guys seen Star Trek II: Wrath of Khan?
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, it's like the brain worm thing. Like,
It is. There's this weird thing where like, I think a lot of tech companies believe that people don't know what they want until you show it to them, which was true for a long time in a lot of things. But now with these convenience features, it's almost like you're guiding people along with things that, come on, you definitely want this. You definitely want us to order that thing for you and like direct you to the thing that you usually do. And it just becomes like you sort of just following along the AI
Yeah.
instead of making your own decisions.
And they want you to do that because then they can go to advertisers and say, "Hey, we can sell your product to people.
Yeah.
Look how good we are. You shouldn't use Meta. You should use Google Shopping."
and then it'll all have been worth it.
Yeah, and then all the AI investment will be worth it. Okay.
Are we old?
Yeah. Okay, you want to? Okay.
This whole time I've been like, there's the line.
Yeah.
We hit it. I'm the boomer now. Like, kids are going to be like, "You just get with the time, Gramps." And
It's-
like, this is the line that I'm not with the times.
It's weird because a lot of like in my life, I feel like I'm perfectly in the middle of regular people and then very much technology people. And everyone on the technology side seems to be very excited for the AI. And then everyone in my regular life is like, "This is the worst thing ever. It's going to kill us
Yeah.
all." So we kind of like toe that line, and I feel myself going, I'm excited for it, but I'm scared of it. But it's cool. But it's like, why are we doing this?
I can
I'm
be
flip flopping all over.
Yeah. I feel the same
optimistic
way.
about AI while totally f***ing sick of what's going on with it right now and
But-
exhausted by it.
I want to make videos about like, AI stuff on my channel, but not like AI. I want to make videos about like
Top 5 prompts to
no, not like that. I want to make like theoretical,
the
thought-provoking
15 agents I
videos.
deployed this week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
More like what happens if this AI thing works, and like what does that say about society, whatever. But
AI does kind of all get lumped together
that's the
into
problem.
one big AI.
Yeah.
So if there are little pieces of it that are great, like the tools we talk about all the time that we may use, whether it's like, oh, we got to make like a little frame IO that's for us that has special features, or even just like help me cut something out of Photoshop easier, that gets lumped into the same AI as like all the chatbots and all the other things that are happening and all the AI on the glasses, and it's all AI, so it's all has this label, so
Yeah.
it just kind of gets lost.
It's
It's like
crazy.
the same AI that lets you generate a useful widget on Android to help you track your run and how many things you're going to do before the marathon.
Yeah.
Gets lumped into all the rest of the things that
Yeah.
you've heard about AI for the past hour.
Right. Yeah, that's
Which
the
is a lot.
problem.
We've
Yeah.
been talking for way more than an hour.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people just feel really insulted given how many like serious flaws there are in the world right now, like climate change being a big one.
Yeah.
When people like Google and Meta come out and be like, "No, but the biggest thing we need to solve is like, how do we get your Google Docs to write themselves
And take your job.
And we're going to do the worst thing America has done to the environment in 50 years to accelerate this.
You know, they actually had a very, very, very brief section about weather models with AI.
Yeah.
That was super interesting because weather models right now are just throwing a ton of compute at a ton of data from all over the country and trying to decide what the weather is going to be and how potentially dangerous weather could happen in certain places and trying to get as accurate as possible. And just from all the research I've been doing about weather models, these AI models kind of came out of nowhere and are immediately surpassing these ancient models that we've been using forever. And it's like, holy shit, this is like super useful for like determining whether there's going to be dangerous storms in these places.
Yeah.
And they just kind of breezed over that and moved to the next thing. And
Because it was a re-announcement. Yeah. Because they announced this.
It's been around for like a year basically since they started doing it. But like that's the type of stuff that could make awesome headlines, super useful, really great stuff. They also had like this very brief thing at the beginning where they're like, we're going to cure all disease. And then they just moved on.
Yeah, right.
Like, wait, what?
And I think the proof that all of that is nonsense was in the OpenAI Tesla Elon court case when in all those internal emails that got released. At no point were Sam and Elon emailing each other like, guys, we're about to cure all disease. Like, we should just put our differences aside and cure all disease. No, the whole time they're like, this is going to take over the world. I want to be the guy that's the super billionaire running the world. Like they don't even believe it's going to cure all disease. It's just something they say.
But this is what Google has been doing for a decade. This is what their AI teams were working on. It's just that when ChatGPT came out and everyone was like, well, we could get money, they started turning it all into consumer products, and now we are where we are.
Yeah.
But they've had these AlphaFold tools. They've had the weather models. They've been doing this.
Yeah.
And it was just that they would work very quietly in the background with the people who it mattered for.
Yeah.
And now they're trying to tell us all what it matters for.
Yeah. As soon as ChatGPT launched, they were like, oh, we have to make AI the main consumer product as instead of just using it as a background tool. Because that's, to your point, Marquez, about the weather models just being updated with AI features. What they used to do and what Apple used to do would just be like, look at this awesome tool that you actually can have a use for. It's powered by machine learning. Mm-hmm. But they would actually tell you what was useful about it. And now everything's just a demo of something that you could do, but you would never do.
They do it like the other way around where they're like, we have this new feature. It's called AI blah.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh boy, another thing. With
Instead of, look at this cool thing, it can do this, it's uses AI to do it.
Machine,
Yeah. Well, I think that's the problem with like these words that just get super hyped and there's like no nuance in them, you know, like big data or like Internet of Things, or like they just call it under this giant umbrella and there's no nuance underneath it.
Do you know what word does live up to the hype? My brain is
Sorry. Yeah.
trivia.
What is that?
You were ready though. You were ready. You knew where I was going.
There's two musics playing at once.
That was crazy. That hurt my brain.
Stressed right now.
Yeah, this has been a really rambly episode.
It's really hot.
It was a rambly. I mean, anyway, let's just get into trivia. Let's just get into
Adam's like,
I'm about to crash
Two
out.
more words could have led to another.
this is going to be the hardest thing to edit of all time.
Which of the following is not a real Google project? Firebase, Bazal, Angle, Apache Beam,
How do you spell bazal?
Bazal.
Basil?
Sure.
Like Art Basil?
Well, that's EL.
Oh.
That would be how like a tech company making basil would spell it.
That's an I, though.
I know. Well, no, I know. I'm saying they spell it different. It's also an S.
Yeah. I think it would just be BAZL.
BZL, actually, Brian.
You're right.
Damn. Well, we'll think about it. And just at the end, like usual, we'll be right back. Support for the show comes from Framer. First impressions matter a ton. That's why having a top-of-the-line website to catch potential customers is so vital. So why not try Framer to help upgrade your .com? Framer is an enterprise-grade, no-code website builder used by teams at companies like Perplexity and Miro to move faster, with real-time collaboration and robust CMS with everything you need for great SEO, not to mention advanced analytics that include integrated A/B testing. Your designers and marketers are empowered to build and maximize your .com from day one. So whether you want to launch a new website, test a few landing pages, or migrate your full .com, Framer has programs for startups, scale-ups, and large enterprises to make going from idea to live site as easy and fast as possible. So learn how you can get more out of your .com from a Framer specialist, or get started building for free today at framer.com/wave for 30% off a Framer Pro annual plan. That's framer.com/wave. firmer.com/wave for 30% off. firmer.com/wave. Rules and restrictions may apply.
All right, welcome back. We didn't talk about this because Google didn't talk about it. They put it in a little Android developer blog, but Wear OS 7 officially got announced, which for those that don't know is the OS that runs on your Google smartwatch. There's some high-level stuff here. There's some stuff that's good. I'm just going to run through it really quickly. They're adding flexible and dynamic wear widgets. So now they support new card layouts, which align very well for the mobile format. So they look the same on your phone and on your watch, which is good. You now have live updates on your watch. So if you know live updates like Uber or whatever that can sort of show you how close your car is, you can now show that on your watch. It's
Or
great.
sports.
Or sports.
Yeah, like Arsenal winning the Premier League.
Which is crazy that they didn't have that on the watch before, because it seems like that'd be the best place to look at it. But, whatever. App functions allows developers to integrate their apps with agents so people can complete tasks using their voice. That's helpful. Task automation, users can invoke and track task automation, like asking your phone to order DoorDash for you. Now you can see that on your watch. So previously you would ask your Pixel to order DoorDash for you, and you would see it happening on your phone, but you wouldn't be able to know what was happening in real time on your watch. Now you can see the steps it's taking on your watch to make sure if it's accidentally ordering you like a car off of Amazon instead of your burrito, you can stop it, which is good. Workout tracker. There is now a rich standardized workout tracking experience that includes heart rate monitoring, media control, and other things. So now if you're making a fitness app, there's a standardized layout that you can use to make sure that the watch app looks good. So if you just made the app for Android, you don't have to completely redesign a separate watch app. You can just use Google's standardized one, which is cool. There are enhanced system media controls. So there is per app media auto launch controls, which means that if you open Spotify, like on your phone, the media controls with like playback and like pause, forward, back, up, down, volume, stuff like that.
So Android.
Yeah. So now it's like if you open YouTube Music, it doesn't show up on your watch. But if you open Spotify, it does show up in your watch because they want to give you as much control as possible, I suppose. There's also an audio output switcher on the watch now. So if you have your phone connected to multiple sources, you say you want it to come out of the kitchen or you want to come out of the bedroom, you can switch it from your watch, which is helpful. And then they updated watch face format, which is a way to make watch faces. Now it's watch face format 5. There's enhanced alignment options, auto size enhancements, blend modes, stroke joints, and hierarchical settings. That's about it.
Type. I'm going to use maybe one of those.
Yeah. Well,
It's so funny because that's something that would have been so good visually on a screen on a stage that they had for 2 hours and decided.
which is why I feel like they shouldn't even have done the Android show. They should have just made it half of I/O and then done the Gemini.
yes.
stuff.
So then at an hour in, we could all
least you'd
leave,
care.
and then
Yeah.
they can talk about Gemini.
But the retention.
Yeah. Did you want to talk about this camera thing?
I'm going to talk about it for 5 seconds. I thought you might know more about it, but
Yeah, I was in the wilderness.
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
didn't really see.
Panasonic Lumix L10. I saw this because on the X106 subreddit, someone posted is like, "Oh, is this the new X100 competitor?" It seems like it's way more of a RX100 type competitor. But I then looked at it, and the coolest thing about this is how the lens comes out.
It's like a lens cap that is built into the camera, and it opens up like a little tri-gate.
Yeah, it's got 3. I don't
Flaps?
know how to describe- Yeah, it looks like the something in like Indiana Jones where they had to like shove a relic into a big stone door to open it, and it opens in these like 3 flaps, and then this zoom lens comes out of it.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's a small like compact point and shoot camera. It looks pretty cool. Petapixel has a whole review on it if you actually care about it, but the way it comes out looks really cool.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
Hopefully you don't drop it while it's open and then break one of the hinges off.
Yeah, to be fair, dropping most cameras in that would be in a rough spot.
And to be fair, the flaps aren't that important. They just kind of act as like a dust protector.
Yeah, the gold color looks pretty sweet.
Yeah, it does.
Cool. All
Okay.
right. Most important thing.
All right. So now that you guys have made it this far into the podcast, I know that you're real fans. You made it this far past all the rambling and all the stuff that we've talked about. And so instead of hitting with a code word in the comments, this is a great time to share with you something that we're really proud of that is maybe the coolest thing we've ever done. So you guys know the Marble Olympics, like the Jealous Marble Run YouTube channel?
Is it jealous or jealous?
I
Jealous.
only know about this because you guys talk about it all the time.
It's come across your feed at some point in the last decade. They're kind of iconic.
I don't know if it has.
They're awesome. They have essentially like a bunch of different events. It's like Marble Olympics, like a bunch of different events that they can run, and they all compete against each other. They have sponsors.
Yeah.
These marble teams have sponsors.
I think you undersold it a little. These
there's
people,
a lot of them.
The marble events, like there are sprints, there's hurdles, there's like javelin, there's everything you could imagine. There's Marbula 1, which has full blown like attempted track recreations in a marble run, where each marble is representing a different driver in Formula 1, and they do qualifying beforehand. Like it's completely out of this world with incredible like they have the timing metrics and everything down for everyone. Anyways, yeah, it's awesome.
It's exactly what you're picturing. We decided we'd love to get involved, and instead of just sponsoring one team, we decided every channel that we run should have a team so that we can root for them. So here on the Waveform podcast, we do have a sponsored marble team.
We do.
That would be, well,
the
specifically the Solar Flares are the Waveform team.
We're like an OG Gels marble run team. Like Solar Flares have been competing for at least 5 years, if not like way longer. Yeah.
It's the Waveform Bros.
It's awesome.
We need their rookie card.
Yeah, we are proudly sponsoring that marble team here at Waveform. But that also means the autofocus channel is also involved. They are sponsoring the plasma team. The studio channel is sponsoring the primary team.
I believe the studio channels team has already been relegated.
Yeah, they got relegated.
That was fast. Yeah, they had some poor performances early. And the MKBHD team, the Blackjacks team, is doing really well. So, you know, now that you've made it this far, we highly recommend going over and checking out what those marble teams are up to and rooting for your favorite one. Maybe you're going to root for the Waveform team, but you're clearly going to root for the Blackjacks team.
I'm going to
mute his
Alex.
microphone.
I'm going to steal
You're part of
Alex's
both of
joke
these channels, Marquez.
I know
in that
but
the
they're doing
Blackjack
so
team
well.
needs to be tested for performance
They're
enhancing
doing
drugs.
so well. I'm really
The
proud of
Blackjack
them.
team is, of course. Marquez is so good at everything. Of course, he would pick one of the
Marble
teams
team?
and can destroy all of us.
It's the Matte Black Marble Man.
One
They're
thing
killing
that
it.
Marquez doesn't actually need his competence to do and run, he still wins at. And I'm very upset about
And
it.
the season, it's a long season. Okay. There's a lot of
So you
events.
can still lose.
Yeah, for sure.
Will you switch teams to our collective team if we start winning?
No, I'm gonna stick with my team. But you know, the Waveform team should stick with their team too. We should watch all these teams. We should watch the events. Some stuff is live too. You can literally watch them like as they happen. They're really exciting. That's cool. So go check them out. We'll link whatever we can below so you can go support and check out our teams. Marble runs.
We will retweet the first person who posts a picture with the Solar Filler Marble merch watching Waveform.
The Solar Flare.
Is that fair? You can buy the team marbles on the
so you can,
or you can buy jerseys. I think
that's
Do
incredible.
you guys know who the marbles on the Solar Flare are? I have the team roster pulled up.
The names of
Wait,
the
they have
marbles?
names? I forgot.
Dude,
they
there's
have
a whole-
names. Yo, who's our roster?
Coming from the seaside city of Meteorine, the Solar Flares participated in the Stardust Classic and won the Herbatamia Invitational, allowing them and the Gliding Glaciers to be invited to compete in Marble League 2021 qualifiers. We are represented by... Actually, hold on. What am I doing?
Get the music on.
Why am I not even seeing?
We are represented by Flare, Scorch, Radiance, Ember, and Blaze. Aren't you glad I have that button just like ready to go?
So we will be big time watching our marbles and supporting them through the rest of the season because it's the most exciting thing we've ever been a part of.
The main
really
screen
fun.
in our office is either our work calendar or Marble Run Olympics
whatever the
going
first
on.
event
The like
is.
4-hour live streams of it, and
It's true.
Or disc golf too.
yeah, disc golf makes it on there sometimes.
once in a
That's
while.
definitely the bottom.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you guys for watching and listening this week. I think it's time for that last segment that we always do. Trivia. Do you have a whiteboard? Oh, you do.
Yeah.
Guys, I have before me 4 women's names, specifically Rachel, Mimi, Robin, and Shakira. What line of smartphones had all 4 of these as code names? You are about to experience things that you can't believe.
Getting carried away over here.
Behind the trivia music is crazy.
There's so many good ones. David, we put this one in the soundboard.
That honestly sounds exactly like my flex type.
Printer. Right?
No, it's a
Guys,
scanner.
what'd you put?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Oh,
Marquez, you want to read first?
I said Samsung's A series, but I also wanted to point out that there is literally a phone called the Robin. The
Yeah,
Nextbit
yeah.
Robin.
Nextbit
Oh,
Robin.
that's good.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Andrew, David, you want to read your answers at the exact same time?
Ours are not the same answer.
Yes, they are.
Well, let's.
Say them at the same
You
time.
said a lineup
3,
of phone, correct?
2.
Hold on.
Sony
You said a
doesn't-
lineup of phone. If
Sony
he said,
doesn't make.
Oh my God, you've been back
if he
for
said
one
Samsung,
day.
if he said Samsung and it was the A series, would you have counted that?
Does Sony even make?
Xperia.
They
have
make
several
Yeah, but
Xperias.
you didn't.
I think.
You just wrote Xperia. They have Xperia 1. They also have Xperia 5. They have Xperia 10.
What were the things? I actually was debating putting 1 or 5.
But you didn't.
Are they both wrong?
well, you
Or
just
are
put
they-
Sony.
Is one of them right?
You know, they're guys, what even is this? Come on, man. You've been back
Well,
for
because I was
one
originally
day.
thinking of
and you're already
LG, and I was like, do I put
Okay,
the
well,
G
I
or
meant
V series?
Sony Xperia. That's what I meant.
how specific are
You
we
haven't
getting,
told. Okay,
guys?
look. You haven't told me the answer
Yeah,
yet.
what are they? What are the
gonna say
4
Those
phones?
are all Sony Xperia phones.
Here we go.
Xperia what?
Xperia. So these are the first 4 Xperia phones that ran Android after they switched from Windows Phone.
So what's
to
the name of
Android.
What were the name? Yeah.
The Xperia X10A, the Xperia U20A, the Xperia E10A, and the Xperia E15. Oh wait, those are the model names, excuse me. The Xperia X10, the X10 Mini Pro, the X10 Mini, and the Xperia X8.
Sony Xperia. X.
So I could
don't
give
know.
neither of you the point because neither of you put Xperia X, but I think
Is there a Sony phone that's
I
not
don't
an
know.
Xperia?
I think
It sounds
Xperia
like they want to be
counts.
specific, so they got it all wrong.
The question was what line, and it's the Xperia line.
Yeah, but nobody would have been.
I
able
just
to
feel like
put-
if you said that line or that what company,
But Sony only makes Xperia phones.
I think
They have more than
I'll-
one line.
Ellis was gonna
Yeah,
give
but
both of you a
He
point.
didn't put the other
but
lines. So did we both
true.
get it wrong?
I don't know.
Sony doesn't make non-Xperia phones.
No.
does Sony make non-Xperia?
I don't
No,
want
there's only
to.
Xperia
It's
phones.
making me look bad, but I don't know. That feels like a very vague answer.
But there's only one.
I'm just saying.
Please.
They're all Xperia.
Just saying.
I don't know what to do here. Okay, here's the thing. If I give Andrew the point, then he's tied with Marquez. We get like this nice competitive thing.
I'm.
And then if I give David the point, he's even farther ahead of everyone else.
I think that should be taken
I
into
think we
account.
should both get points.
Yeah. Neither of you get a point right now. In the comments,
Oh my gosh.
let us know.
I
Either
won.
David, Andrew, both.
Now that I said that, I
neither
lost.
Get the point. What does Gemini say?
It was so implied.
We'll let the comments section figure this one out.
It was so
Jeez.
implied.
Wow, guys. All right. Well, since no points have been
People are gonna
awarded,
Be so bring Mariah back.
I'm
Top #1 comment. Easy.
Andrew, you've officially initiated my grudge.
right. I would like to kick off hour 39 of this podcast episode with an update to the score. Andrew, you are carrying the one with 25 points, maybe 26. We'll see. Marquez, you are just ahead of him with 26 actual real points. And David, you are still far in the lead with 29 points.
There was a point where I
wasn't here last
like
week.
double both of their scores put together.
No, you did start this season with a huge. Usually, we're also so overdue for an extravaganza.
Yeah, like significantly.
Question number 2, which of the following is not a real Google project? A, Firebase, B, Buzzall, C, Angle, or C, Apache, or D, Apache Beam. What do you guys think?
Apache Beam. More like. It's so hot in here.
Flip them and read. What do you got?
Wow, okay. I'm different again from the other two. I said B, Bazal.
Wrong. That is a real answer.
Spelled it wrong.
I think the spelling is
It's
why I didn't choose-
Bazel.
Like basil?
That's not how you spelled it before, was it?
That's not how you pronounce that.
Oh, I don't know.
Basil.
You spelled it B-A-Z-A.
Okay. Bazel. It's a
Tomato.
it's their own build
Sony
tool.
Xperia.
Yeah.
Their what tool?
It's a build tool that has
Sony
built-in support for building both client and server software.
And then we said
What
C.
does that even mean?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. This is on their page, Google open source. All right.
It's called basil.
We said
Basil?
C.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah,
bro?
you said bazal. I thought that was real.
Basil.
It's literally called basil.
Well, it was. Well, what Adam said wasn't real.
Exactly. That's why I should get the point.
No, but it was real. It's a real thing.
Bazal is not real.
Well, I don't know. I've never heard this spoken out loud. It could very well be bazal.
I googled it.
And it's pronounced bazal,
no, it's called basil.
but it's not spelled like basil.
Not
It's
real.
Because
spelled
it's a tech company.
Yeah, this is how Google pronounces it.
Basil.
What does Google know?
Andrew, David, what did you guys put?
C.
C.
For angle.
I forgot what it was for. I just put C.
And I put both to be specific.
That is.
You don't have to be specific.
And I put an angle.
All right.
30
Well,
degrees.
this
I
is
feel like
all going to
that's
be
definitely
determined in
closer
the
to
comments
50.
because I'm not adding a point on the screen until you guys tell me whether Marquez should get that point or not.
75.
I feel like I've been robbed again. I feel like bazal is clearly not real. And I
Well,
should
but
get the
didn't you
point.
just say that you?
The audience will
Google?
decide.
You said, "Tell me which one's not real." Google bazal. And I said that one's not real.
but one of
I
them
was
is
right.
very obviously not real.
Yeah, but Google,
Was it?
I was right. There's 2 correct answers.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Commenters.
Commenters,
Let
do
us
your
know.
do your thing. Do your magic. Wow. Okay, there's probably 6 minutes left on this card, and it's 1,000 degrees in here. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And thanks for subscribing. Stay tuned for more of your regularly scheduled programming, but also some bonus programming coming up soon because we're just that committed to you guys. And if you made it this far, comment bazal. Catch you in the next one.
Comment. Bring Mariah back.
They already will.
They already did. See you guys next time. Peace.
Waveform was produced by Vox Media Podcast Network. We're
Bad.
now it's just Waveform was produced by Vox Media.
Nope.
You're doing great, sweetie.
Waveform was produced by Adam Molina and Ellis Roven. We're partnered with Vox Media Podcast Network, and our outro music was created by Vane Still.
All right. How long are you guys talking about the Fuji? Because I got some marbles to talk about.